go ahead and hop in and see what these fools are talking about. Hello? Oh, is everybody's muted. Oh god, it's silent in here. I don't like this.
Hey man.
No, you're fine, I swear you're fine.
Wait, we're all good. Don't worry about it.
We're good.
that was very scary. I didn't like how silent that was. I expected it to be just a bunch of voices screaming in my ear.
We weren't planning to jump you. Don't worry, that was not our intention.
You mean like you mean like how Sonic fans are jumping Disney for being petty? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's how it is. That's just how it is, man. Funny as fuck.
As the manuscripts foretold.
Damn, they said I'm Disney. This is crazy. Chat, I don't like that. Anyway,
it's just. No, I was gonna say it's just funny how like they try to say, "Oh, we're the number one." Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, like they like. Here's the thing, like it is not the fact of whether it's good or not. It's the fact that they know that it's getting outgrossed and out-reviewed, and now it's hurting their pride and ego. And now it's funny them crashing out over something simple like this. Like one movie they can't just act like it's doing better than others, and that's very funny. That is very funny to me. That
like aren't they getting rid of like replies up for like
yes, me and Kaze replied, got hidden. Fran got hidden. Fucking someone else. Flameku got hit. Like everybody getting hidden. It's hilarious. All right, Tim. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that.
Bro.
They were crazy. They put that shit in quotation marks, like we wouldn't know what the fuck they were talking about. Like, that's insane to me. Like, they knew exactly what they're doing, and it backfired on them.
100%, man. 100%.
Like, that's crazy. Anyways, Chad, are y'all ready to discuss Sonic 3? Because I have been waiting to discuss this movie, letting it simmer. I have some interesting thoughts. I have some takes that I think some people probably have that now that this movie is sitting, but I think I think overall this will be a fun. Yeah, what's the tea? Oh, we'll have fun as discussing the tea anyway. All right.
Wow.
I have dialogue about a character.
There we go.
I have a lot.
Here's a question. Are we going to do the non-spoiler first or just
Yes, we are.
First?
But before
non-spoiler makes sense.
Yeah, we're gonna do non-spoiler, discuss a few things, and then we can just go balls deep into spoiler talk.
Right.
Before we get started, though, I would like to give you this opportunity to introduce everyone. We'll go from left to right in accordance to what is on my Discord screen. So, BattleKid, you're up. Introduce yourself.
Okie dokie. I'm BattleKid. I am your local small artist. I've been doing YouTube and Twitch, but mostly I'm on the internet, on Twitters, and currently Blue Sky.
Which I have not been using Blue Sky in a little while, I'll be honest with you, chat.
I've been posting a bit on Blue Sky.
I need to get back to that.
I've tried to reopen my Instagram as well.
Nice.
Artist Detective, yo boy, I was good. Did we all cry? Oh, well, I guess that is a good question. We'll ask later. All right. Good old Emanuel, buddy of mine. Last minute replacement, buddy of mine. Introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I am the ultimate life form. Anyway, my name is Emanuel. I do YouTube. I like to do video game reviews of any franchise out there. I just try to have fun, make memes, and kick ass. I don't know. It's basically, I guess it's my intro.
Nice. All right, Kaze, what's up, buddy? Hey, buddy, how are you? I haven't spoken to you since the Mario Party incident.
What?
Incident.
Hello, people. My name is KaZeKunai. Despite the incident. I make content. I'm not UFO. I do old stuff. I ship posts. I do a lot of stuff. Uh, you know, just a guy doing what he loves doing, even though I get tortured a lot. And I do my stuff.
Listen, someone.
By the way, I'm never forgiving you for the Mario Party incident. I hope you know that.
Listen, I got dragged into that. I had nothing to do with that. I was there to win, and the other two were on their shenanigans. I had no part of that.
I'm fun in the game.
Listen, it is the downfall of being a streamer. It's always funny to attack a streamer. Listen, I know that all too well.
Why is it always amazing?
Oh, last but not least, Koala. Honestly, this is the first time we like actually interacted, like actually spoke.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm KoalaZKai. I'm a Twitch streamer, YouTuber. I do a lot of things online. I like to talk about Sonic. I would not say Sonic. I like to talk about Sega, Nintendo, fucking video games in general. I do everything, bro. You can also call me Albert because that's my real name, and that's a really unfortunate name. What was it? And yeah, I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. Hi, how's it going?
Very unfortunate.
Doing good. Yeah. Glad y'all are here. I guess I need to introduce myself. Hello, everyone. For everyone that's unfamiliar with me, my name is Bills. I also create content, Twitch, YouTube, whenever I can actually not be lazy and actually make content for that platform. And actually, currently on a little bit of a break from Twitch in general. I expect to be back fully around at latest the beginning of February, but I've been on a break for a little bit. But before that, I was mostly doing Twitch and YouTube and making interesting posts on Twitter, and people judge me for it because I always get judged for everything I do. So yeah. Alright, so as y'all are aware of in the stream, we are here to discuss Sonic 3. Came out on Thursday. I wish you lead me into my I guess a quick first question. When did y'all watch it? I watched, like I said it before, I watched it the early premiere on Thursday. I watched it at 5 p.m. And my theater experience with that is the back row was pretty packed. There were some seats in the front, couple of seats in the front that were empty, but for the most part it was a decent showing. My theater experience was good. It wasn't like amazing like I expect others to be. But it wasn't as bad. Thank God there weren't any crying children or anything. There were a good amount of kids, but they were just more focused on the movie than anything else. So but yeah, my experience was good. Whoever wants to chime in first can go. Yeah, I can go ahead.
I watched it at 10 today, so I'm fresh right now.
Snaps.
Today at 10 in the morning.
I'm so
And
sorry.
so
Bro,
I
even good time
am
to go.
completely fresh. I got the notepad ready. I am just like, I got everything on, like, I'm just ready to go. So yeah, I saw it today at like 10 a.m. Theater wasn't packed because like who the hell watches a movie at 10? But it was pretty fun, the experience all in all. Like I tweaked that like at every given moment, every reference, every nuance, everything that they did do, man. It was such a great experience. I do wish it was packed because I'm pretty sure like Bills, like your experience with that, like with the amount of Sonic fans, it probably would have been like the greatest of all time.
Yeah,
Probably out.
I didn't mention
Yeah.
it. Sorry to go off because I guess I didn't talk about how my experience, like in reacting to the movie itself. I think I was probably the biggest one in there. Probably more than likely, because I think I was the only one actually making arm and leg movement and reacting to the movie aggressively like I was without yelling.
Yeah.
Because I did my best not to yell throughout that entire movie, but there were a couple of times where I did silent yells and was throwing my hands up and kicking my feet like a fucking fucking child.
Right, you were like me. You were like me. I was trying to be as quiet as I
Yeah,
could be, bro.
like I
Same.
and I for the most part
So
I
same.
didn't like yelp or scream until like the it's not really spoilers to say that there's two post credit scenes. I did not. I did my best not to scream, but once the post credits started to kick in, that's when I could not yell. I had to yelp. But we will absolutely get to that when we get to that. But yeah, no, especially the last 30 minutes. Like obviously, we'll get into specifically both in non and spoilers discussion about that. But those last 30 minutes probably were probably the closest I was to just letting out a yell
Let me
that
tell you.
entire
Oh, boy.
time. So yeah,
I have
that's
so
pretty
many
much
like
how
that.
I experienced it.
Yeah, I guess my experience was I will say it is 100% more fun if you have fans in the theaters because
Which
you know
I will say
obviously
Sonic 2, I had a better experience with because there were actual fans. This time it was a little bit casual on my end, but sorry interrupting.
yeah,
Mm.
no, you're good. No, I feel for me it was worse because like for me I watched all the Sonic movies on premiere day, all three of them, and this one had more fans than 2 and 1, especially 1 because I mean obviously yeah, first one you know obviously there's going to be a lot of kids because we all know this movie is mainly catered toward kids, so
Mhm.
you know that should be the expectation for me at least that I should come to the movie with, but it was surprised to see a lot of fans like going to the theaters on day one, and it's always a good experience because you know, just like you know, you always get that like you have that hype energy in that theater. You have a lot of hype stuff going around, especially since you know this is like Shadow. Yeah, this is the year of Shadow, and this is Shadow's movie, basically. So you know, obviously there's going to be a lot of people excited for it, and you know, like you said, the last 30 minutes, oh, it just you know, it felt like a Dragon Ball movie in a way. It just felt
Yeah.
Yeah.
so much hype for
Yes.
this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
What was it? Yeah, my theater experience is like really good. I got the fan event showing at 3 p.m. EST.
Lucky
I
bastard.
was there early. Everyone was in the lobby, and so what was cool was everyone was a fan, like literally everyone. So when I got there, everyone was just talking and talking. I was wearing a Metal Sonic shirt, and I had people come up to me. They're like, "Oh, bro, I hope Metal's in the movie, bro. That'd be so." I was like, "I know, right? That'd be so sick." And so like what was it? So like I was talking to people outside. I met up with my friend. He bought that stupid giant like Sonic popcorn bucket. We went inside.
Oh, you
Everyone
just
was like,
reminded me. Oh
dude.
my god, you just reminded me. I
No, it was
Man.
we'll get to that specifically.
Mm.
You just reminded me what happened. Continue.
But yeah, my theater experience is great. No, there were no crying children. Everyone got in their seats super fucking fast. Um, we all like people were like popping off at different parts when lines would play or when songs would start playing. You hear people like all giddy like and people gasped and screamed. It was like, okay, we got like the sitcom reactions here. I fuck with this heavy. And so yeah, it was really fun. And then afterwards everyone was either in the lobby or like right outside the theater all talking about it. It was awesome.
Nice.
Well, at
Man,
mine,
I wish.
at mine, I went on Thursday. I went at like 9 p.m. Granted, at 9 p.m. there were still like half the theater I want to say was full. I remember going in and everyone's getting a poster, and I was like, I gotta get that poster.
Johnny Action
I
went
have
in?
to get that
Okay.
poster. I have to get it. And then a guy was just like, "Hey, you want this poster?" I was like, "Can I get two?" And he's like, whatever. So I got one. I gave another one to a friend. I went in. I was talking to so many people about just Sonic. They're like, oh, we can't wait till we get in there here and just see the movie and just what's in there. Or oh, I can't wait till they play like. Oh, I want to see them play like Live and Learn or something like that. I was like, oh, they gotta play it. They have to play it. Then I got in there. There's probably like I want to say one or two kids in there. Everyone else was like pretty much adults. There was even like two cosplayers when I went in there. One was Shadow, another one was Amy. And during the movie, everyone was popping off at like every respective scene. I popped off mostly just like in my seat at everything that possibly could have been peak, especially I remember popping off and everyone just like was like clapping at the scene at like close to the beginning of the movie. And of course the last 30 minutes was just like insane. But yeah, that was pretty much my experience.
Nice. We're actually gonna get another person with us here in a bit. But before we continue on, we'll wait for her to join us. Also, I need to adjust all this now. That here. Oh, hello.
Is that who I think it
I
is?
know that they was thinking of
It's
this.
me.
Oh,
I'm
man.
not safe.
It's me. I am here to also discuss the Sonic movie 3 because it was peak.
Welcome in. You wanna
Hello,
introduce yourself
hello, everyone.
before
Hey, yo.
you wanna introduce yourself before speaking about your experience?
Oh shit. Hello. My name is TheEarlSilver. You can call me Silver. I love Sonic. Sonic movie 3 is peak. Yeah. That's all I got. Hello.
Yeah.
I
You're
don't know
perfect.
what else to say.
You could have said like, yeah, I got Twitter.
I'm like, yeah, that's it. I just want to discuss the movie for real.
Straight to the point.
Hello, BattleKidMega. Hello, Bills. Hello, Brianycus. Hello,
Hello.
KaZeKunai. Hello, Kai, my Pookie.
Who are you?
Is it Silver?
Who?
Oh, man.
I'm
Who?
sorry. No, I'm new. Who are you?
No, you're KaZeKunai. That's who you are.
I don't know who you are. Nice to
That's
meet
why
you.
you're KaZeKunai. That's why you're
What?
KaZeKunai.
That.
I haven't done nothing.
Damn.
That's crazy, Godly.
Like, we're going
Welcome in, Silver.
Hello.
Happy to have you. Yeah, how was your experience in terms of theater and experiencing the movie in general?
Well, I was going to see it at 3 p.m. for the fan event, but I wasn't able to because I completely forgot I worked at that time. So I was like, shit. But then I was like, oh, I'll just go. I needed to see it on Thursday. I was like, no, there's no way. I'm gonna see it on Thursday.
People were spoiling stuff. Their post credits was getting spoiled. Stuff in general was getting spoiled.
No, I literally, thank God I worked that day because I can't use my phone during work. So I was like, okay, perfect. Like, I'm not even gonna be on my phone, so it's perfect. My phone was on the not disturb that entire day because I was like, I'm not getting spoiled, right? And then I was able to get tickets for Thursday 10 p.m. So it's perfect. Like I got like really good seats too. I did experience Little Timmy though, and it was at the worst scene.
That's tough.
Too, it was
Damn, you got the little Timmy.
I was so mad. It was like that little Timmy was crying. It was like the only little Timmy, but he was crying. It was during the worst, the worst scene ever because it was like during like a really serious scene, and I was so mad. I was like, bro, shut the fuck up. I was so mad. But other than that, it was amazing. I also got like the popcorn bucket, but like the blue tin thing. And then I got the 2 Sonic and Shadow cups. I didn't get a poster unfortunately, but that was pretty much it. But it was amazing. I literally spazzed out like 10 every 10 minutes I was spazzing out. I was screaming the whole entire time. It was amazing. But yeah, that was my experience. And now I'm excited to discuss it with you guys.
Alright. I can never do say what I got. So obviously there's something specifically we'll have a fun discussion about it during spoiler talks because there's something there that something occurred the moment I walked in. I turned left and immediately get spoiled on something. We'll talk about that in a second.
No, I
I
will also say I have a story later. But...
yeah.
But
I didn't get the Sonic popcorn thing. I got the Shadow one. And then I got the because I went to AMC. A movie 10 in general, which just had everybody. Then I also got the Shadow Cup. Was I the only one whose shadow figure just kept falling off the entire time while it was on?
I didn't get a bucket, so.
Or
Oh
Like-
no. Mm-mm.
Like,
no.
yeah,
Like
no.
I had I didn't get the cup for this one, but I remember during my movie 2 experience that it kept falling off for me. It's
Yeah,
just
I'd
how
say
it
yeah,
is.
those toppers are dick.
Yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah,
that top. Yeah, they kept falling. They kept falling to the point where I was like, alright, I'm just putting it on my lap and it's gonna be on there the entire
Yeah,
time.
I just said
Yeah.
I put it in my pocket, which still sucked because I was sitting down, so I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
I'm sitting on tails.
Really? Mine.
Alright, but is everybody ready to talk about this movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fine.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
So, like I said, and it's on the chat. When we talking about non-spoiler talks, I will give an indication when we talk about spoilers, just in case the people are in here and haven't seen the movie. I've advised beforehand, if you haven't seen the movie, to try to avoid watching, just in case, because there could be like, we'll do our best to not spoil, obviously, but if you're like me and you're paranoid, like, you can't take the risk when it comes to stuff like that. But we will absolutely do our best when it comes to not spoiling stuff. So we'll give an indication of when we'll actually start talking about spoilers and whatnot. But for now, we'll talk about non-spoilers. Okay, so we're gonna start off with general thoughts. I'm gonna go first because I think I'm probably gonna be the most critical one here. I will say.
Yeah.
The movie is great. I think, generally speaking, as a Sonic movie and what it represents, it is amazing. I think as a Sonic movie, it is probably the best one in terms of what it represents and whatnot. As a film, however, I feel like there are some points where the plot is very messy. There are some characters that we will discuss that I felt were
Let me tell you.
were a little iffy. Some characters, I will say the one thing I will say is that they kept the human characters to at a minimum as much as they could, and when they were in there, they were in there for like the right spot. And I will say Tom and Maddie especially played a much more fulfilling role this time around. Because I've always liked those two in general. Like, I think a lot of people is just were obviously did not like the wedding scene from 2, and didn't like Rachel or Randall and whatnot. I will say, because that was a little bit of a worry going into this movie from some people, I will say that Rachel and Randall's roles are very minor, and how they use them, I think, was an appropriate way, to the point where their characters weren't like there was nothing really complain about them in particular, and there's a good reason we'll talk about it in like spoiler talk, but like I feel like their characters and the way they were handled, I think was as good as it could. It was short and sweet, whatnot. Tom and Maddie were in there for when they needed to be. I will say though, it is funny how we just ignore that Maddie used to be a veterinarian and Tom used to be a fucking cop, and they just kind of don't do that. I think
We don't worry about that.
we don't at all. I think the reason is because of Gunn, and they give him much money and whatnot. That's probably just the main point of it. I think Shadow. I think Shadow might also be an interesting topic to handle as well, because I will say I personally liked how he was handled here. I can understand that there's some people that wanted a little more, because there were some points where it could have felt like he could have been used a little more and meant a little more, if that makes any sense. But I feel like with what he was given, and especially Keanu, because Keanu especially, I feel like in starting the movie, it was like, okay, he sounds interesting, but as the movie went on, he sounded more and more like Shadow, for me at least. And I think he did a phenomenal job. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, they all sound great. Sonic especially, because Twitter is having a fun field day about them. The switch up for this fucking character
The switch
is
up is insane.
crazy.
Yeah, genuinely.
We'll
To
talk
see
about it.
everyone apologize is hilarious.
But there is a good reason why people are switching up, and this is coming from someone that I never hated Ben Schwartz's version of Sonic. I understand the criticism of his direction of the character, and like I understand that, but I was never one that like despised him like a good amount of people did. I thought he was a fine enough Sonic. I think he was phenomenal. There were some stuff where it's like, okay, but I think like there's one line in the trailer that sounded awful once it was heard, but like once you hear it in the theaters, like it kind of just came and went. It was not really much of a bother. So I think Sonic, especially in the last 30 minutes, fucking great.
Yep.
Eggman.
I know what you're gonna say.
And it's not just Eggman. It is specifically Gerald.
Don't get me started.
Okay.
Oh, I'm loaded.
Don't
Yeah,
get me
I'm
started.
glad. I'm glad that we don't even have to say anything, and I know and we're all on the same page. We're all on the same page.
I will keep it brief because we need to go more depth into it. Especially when it comes to spoilers, because we absolutely need spoilers to like explain why there is gonna be discourse around those two. The short and sweet non-spoiler version of it is there was way too much Jim Carrey in here, and I understand. And I'm someone who loves, like, really like Jim Carrey and a good amount of his works, but there's just some like because there's a particular scene. There is a particular scene at the very end. There's a couple of scenes. There's a particular scene at the very end where it's this fucking epic moment, and then seconds later, it's gonna be a minor spoiler, but who the fuck cares? Seconds later, it just immediately goes to Gerald or Eggman getting his ass slapped, just straight up, and I'm like,
oh yeah,
bro, what the fuck?
What are you here for?
What is
What are you here for?
What is
Yeah,
this
man.
tone shift? Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like, and besides that, that Gerald being in this movie in general was a big contention point for me because I wasn't sure of him being on. And okay, I also want to preface by saying something we talk about like openly. Like there are some people that have never seen any of the trailers, so like they're not gonna know Gerald are in here. So we're speaking from the perspective that you've seen the trailer. So, and Gerald being in the movie is a spoiler. Somewhat yes, but not really. He was in the trailer.
Not really. He's in the trailer.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
He's
It's multiple
there.
trailers.
So you're fine.
So it's only for people who have never seen the trailers, and I understand that. But Gerald being included was always something that was interesting to me because I wasn't entirely sure how I felt about him being alive. And like the way they handled him towards the end, or the way they handled him towards the end, sure. And like I guess in some aspect, in terms of what he represents, sure, I can get down with him in that aspect. But there are just some scenes where Gerald just takes away from shit, and it's just like, what are we doing here? And it's like, it's just Gerald. I think Gerald especially is going to be a big talking point when it comes to actually discussing this movie openly. Another positive I want to say is that I know a lot of people were going to be really hesitant on Junkie doing the OST for this movie. I will say, don't expect too much. However, I think with what he was given and what he did, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised on how the score for the movie is. I think the score for what it was, and one particular thing that occurred, we'll discuss, obviously. But yeah, I think the score and the OST for this movie is actually it's a lot better than we all thought it was going to be.
Oh, for sure.
True, but there was one particular song that I was like, they didn't have that in there. We'll get them next time, whatever.
Yeah. But obviously, we discussed this. There's 2 post credits. We won't spoil on that. I will say, whoo, there are possibilities with these two. Woo!
Yes,
and I have a
Oh,
man.
Yes,
I have a
yes,
theory
yes,
when
yes.
it comes to this, but we will discuss it.
I say, listen, can we discuss theories? Because I have a huge theory.
We will discuss it.
What?
We will discuss it when it comes to
How
spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will talk about it. But yeah, overall, I think it's hard for me because I really adore too. Like I think I didn't even talk about the pacing either. The movie pace itself it's fast and to the point. I think at some point it's to its detriment a little bit at some parts because of the tonal shifts and whatnot.
Mhm.
But I do welcome it at the same time because there was a lot of people complaining that Sonic 2 was a little slow somewhat. Pun intended.
Isn't Sonic 2 the longest one? Isn't it like
It
two?
is.
I think so.
Sonic
I
is
think it's the
It-
longest
it is.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously the wedding stuff like were big like tone shift for some people. But in this movie it's just plot, some human interaction, and then plot, and then straight to the point. So in terms of pacing, it's really fast, sometimes a little too fast, but I think this was something we needed because a lot of so if people have some fears about the humans and whatnot, fear not. There's not too much of it, and if there is, I will say, in terms of the human, because it'll be the last thing, because I will talk about her more briefly as well. What the fuck was Kristen Ritter's character supposed to be? Because she kind of just showed up as the director of Gun, does a few things, and does nothing of importance after that.
Yep.
What was
They
the
just
point?
gave a lot of
And
character.
why did you not make her Rouge? And you know what I think it is? I think that was supposed to be the case. Because it felt like she was just a replacement for Rouge. And that's a spoiler, sorry, that she's not in the movie. My bad.
I would say,
but
what was
it was
it?
obvious that she was supposed to be a Rouge replacement.
For sure.
Obviously. But yeah. Yeah, overall, I thought the movie was great. I have some issues with characters and plot, but the moments, especially in the I didn't even talk. There's one part in particular in the beginning that, specifically in Tokyo, that we will talk about. There's just so much, but we'll save that. Like moments in the beginning, middle is a little iffy at some point. I didn't even talk about Maria. Oh my god, I completely forgot. Oh, bro. I will say, one thing I will say, that, and I think the actor that played Maria did a fucking phenomenal job.
Yes.
And the
I
way they treated her. My only issue is that it doesn't look like Maria, for me at least.
What?
For
That's a
me,
crazy statement.
It
That's
is,
a crazy
and
thing.
it probably is a crazy statement, but I felt like, I don't know, like it was like, okay, it just seemed like just a blonde white girl, white child, and I'm like,
Well, that's Maria.
So
though.
Maria.
Blonde white
Well,
child.
I mean,
I will say I can see where it's coming from.
Yeah,
I will
see,
say that.
I can see the
Like-
perspective.
It's because she didn't get shot. That's why Bill is saying that. It's 'cause
Um,
she didn't get shot. That's why.
That's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, no. Besides that part, I do think the way they handle Maria, there's one plot point that I'm like a little iffy on something, but I think the way they handled Maria was wonderful. Well, I mean, we'll get more into depth, but like, yeah, I just thought they did a great job, Maria. But yeah, middle section of the movie iffy. The last 30 minutes, the best this this entire series has ever done.
Agreed, 100%.
Like it is the best set of scenes in this entire movie franchise, and it is without question. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts. I'll let Silver discuss first. What are your overall thoughts?
Oh my god, bro, I loved it. I loved every second of it. I do agree. The scenes with Gerald, I hated them all. I hated all of it. To me, it was such a waste of like every time he came on the screen, I was like, just get to the point. Like I don't care about this. Like you're literally wasting my time. That's how I felt. That's the only like one critical thing I will say about that movie. Oh damn, I don't want to discuss too much because a lot of things I do want to say is like super spoilers. So I don't really want to say a lot.
A lot of stuff that we haven't discussed that we really want to talk about in spoiler talks. So we gotta
yeah, so like that's why I'm trying not to
concise
say
as
too
possible.
much.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna like agree with like what you were saying. Definitely like the Gerald scenes were like really annoying. I really hated it all. But other than that, I really loved it because I really do feel like the directors and like the producers and everybody involved in that movie, those like the writers and everything, they definitely like answered like what the fans wanted, if you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Because they literally like they delivered. They 100% like delivered, and I will like very much say like thank you to them. Like oh my god, like they peaked. But that's all I'm gonna say because I know if I keep continuing, I'm gonna spoiler. So let me just like not say too much. But other than that, I love the movie. I love like I literally spazzed out like every 10 minutes. I was the only one screaming. I didn't care, but it was awesome. It was definitely awesome.
Yeah, I guess because I guess we didn't discuss it. Who in here cried? Because I will say. There were the Maria part especially. There were because a little minor spoiler. There's a couple of Maria scenes, and I will say the one positive, especially Maria, is that they go way deeper in depth in showing more of her backstory.
That's why I want to say.
And every time she appeared on the screen, I wanted to cry. I had to hold it in because
oh my god,
I didn't want to be doing
we
it.
have to wait until the spoiler talk,
But like,
and then I could go into
there were a couple times where it made me cry, and then there was also hype moments. And that saying something, yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah,
When you say cry, do you mean like any type of cry or just like sad cry?
Choke up.
Any type of cry, I would believe.
Then I guess like I'd say like cry and joy for me at least at the end of the movie.
Oh, okay, that's cute.
Yeah.
No, I definitely cried. Like it's in terms of sadness, I definitely cried. Like oh my god, that shit hit definitely. Cause this year was not to be personal and everything, but this year was like very tough for me. So like I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's a particular scene where they say some things, and I was just like, oh my god, and it just hit so hard, and I literally started crying. And my friend was looking at me like, yo, you good? And I was just like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me right now.
Yeah, they're like, girl, are you okay?
Yeah, he was like, yo, you good? And I was like, leave me alone right now. Don't even speak to me right now. I'm having a moment, bro. But I def cried. Did anyone else cry? Because I don't know if I'm dramatic, but
I I didn't exactly tear up, but there were moments where like they were like very emotional for me because Sonic Adventure 2, for context, was like one of the first Sonic games like I ever fully played and had like a good experience of. So like seeing this movie was sort of like being reminded of like that 6-year-old me looking at the GameCube of like Sonic
oh,
Adventure 2 Battle. And so there were moments where like I look back at that, but I wish like I did wish I tear up a little bit, but then again, I saw it like in the morning, and then it's like, oh, I got shit to do. There you go. So
Yeah.
what was that?
That's a good segue. Because I do gotta ask, what is everybody's experience when it comes to like their first experience? Because for me, I think I'm pretty sure I am the oldest one in the group. I am the same age as Sonic. I grew up with Sonic 1. I grew up with the Genesis and whatnot. So yeah, I'm the old soul when it comes to this. Me and Sonic both are, but
Time for your bed, Grandpa.
yeah.
What about the unk status?
The unk status is crazy.
Insane.
But yeah, I grew up. I Sonic has been with me my entire life, so that's why I'm probably gonna be at like. Cause here's the thing, like yeah, I'm probably gonna be the one that's like the most critical when it comes to this movie. I know a few others will be, but like in terms of this group, I'm probably gonna be the most critical. But even then, like the movie itself was very special to me. Just because, as well, I think too is something that is my favorite game in the series. Like, because I love Frontiers and I love a couple other Sonic games, but like SA2 still is something that had made such a big impact on me when it comes to this franchise, and obviously Frontiers and a couple other games have come close to it, but like there still hasn't been a game yet that has hit that impact for me like SA2 did. That's why, even though I can properly critique this movie, like it's hard for me to go fully harsh on it because of what the source material it is coming from. So I can't just outright just fully critique the movie like I probably should. So I love this movie maybe more than I probably should, but at the end of the day, I don't care. Like it hit boxes for me as someone who grew up with Sonic my entire life. So yeah.
For me,
I
I'm
think,
sort of the opposite. I'll let you go.
What?
No, you're good. Go for it.
Okay. For me, Bill, because you said like it would be hard to like critique the movie. Ironically, for me, I was kind of like after watching the movie, I was somewhat hard critiquing it because for as much as I love Sonic Adventure 2, um, Sonic Adventure 2 felt like the type of game for the Sonic franchise that felt like the climax of what it was trying to do, so to speak. Where like it tried to like hone in on so many ideas. And I think the reason why I say this is because when you look back at Sonic Adventure 2, it was sort of like the last Sonic game for the Dreamcast, and Sega was basically like, "Oh, we don't know what the hell we're gonna do with Sonic." Before Nintendo stooped in and said, "Oh no, we got you, bro." So that's why when you look back in hindsight of how Sonic Adventure 2 was sort of directed, it felt like a sort of climactic finale in quotations in the sense of how in the sense of how they delivered Shadow's introduction and storyline throughout the course of the game, the way they paired up the teams and their dynamics throughout the course, where like towards the end of that game, everybody had that reconciliation and everybody agreed to like, Shadow brought us all together and like, who knows what could happen down the line. Obviously, we know what happens down the line because Heroes showed up afterwards, and then a bunch of retcons and Ian Flynn rewrites later. We are where we are. But Sonic Adventure 2 was sort of like that sort of swan song of Sega in the sense of like we love this character and we want to bring this sort of ending to everybody, so to speak, like in terms of their characters. So for me, Sonic Movie 3 didn't really deliver too much of that. And I understand why, because like obviously like Sonic Movie 4 and spin-off series and things like that. But personally, I just wish that for as much as I enjoyed like Keanu Reeves' Shadow, for as much as I enjoyed like the concepts and ideas that Jeff Fowler presented and directed for the movie, I personally wish that they pushed off Shadow a little bit more, at least when we had like a more understanding of how the cinematic world of Sonic was going to be like,
Yeah.
So as I was watching the movie, that's how I felt. And like with Gerald and things like that, even more because it's like, for example, we can spoil Sonic and Shadow Gens, right? I mean, it's been like 2 months already, so I guess we can also.
No, you cannot. I still haven't played it.
I would
Bye.
say-
forgot.
Yeah,
Of course
I
it's
would
not
say
played.
it's like
Anyway.
I would say bare minimum like one more month, 2 maybe.
Right. Okay. So without spoiling too much, they did a lot with Gerald with Sonic and Shadow Gens, especially with like if you got the pre-order of the journal,
The journal's
you had a
crazy.
much better understanding of who Gerald was as a character. And as I'm watching Sonic Movie 3, I didn't like the direction Gerald was because like to me it was like this isn't Gerald. Obviously, we'll talk more about it in a spoiler detail, but like there were so many moments in the movie where like I really enjoyed it, and to me it's like an 8 out of 10 for sure. But I just felt like the pacing just needed a little more. Ironically, like it needed to be around the same length of Sonic Movie 2. in terms of adding more exposition, in terms of adding more of what made Sonic Adventure 2 one of the top three in terms of when you ask somebody what's their favorite 3D Sonic game.
Mm.
Yeah, and I think that is a good point, and probably why I'm critical, because I feel like it is both for me. I guess in that way it is both for me. On one hand, because of that, it's probably why I critique it a lot more than I should. But on the other hand, it's also another reason why I don't want to critique it as much as I
Oh
probably
no, for
should.
sure.
Like
Yeah.
it's like the crossroads kind of thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do it out of love because I love it and I still enjoyed the movie at the end of the day. It's just like hindsight's like 2020. So it's like you look back at it and you're like, oh, I wonder if like if they tried all of these things at the and things like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um. We got off topic. Oh my god. uh,
Anybody else?
Anybody else
Somebody?
didn't get to speak about? Cause I already forgot who didn't speak about their overall thoughts about the movie or their experience in
Yeah.
general.
Let me see what I think. I mean, I love the movie. I think the movie is great. I think one thing was is that I do think there was a lot of expectation for this to be like SA2 the movie.
Yeah.
When I will
Mm-hmm.
say it really only felt like SA2 in the last in the third act. That was the
Yeah.
part where it really felt like this was like SA2. And I think I went in with like slightly better expectations because I figured it would be this way. After watching the trailers and shit and seeing like all the different stuff they were going for, I was like, okay, this is not going to be SA2. This is like its own thing with like a flavor with a flavor of SA2. I was like, cool.
Right.
I mean, I'm good with that. Like I can enjoy that. And yeah, I mean, I loved it. I do absolutely agree. Too much Jim Carrey. I get why because like it's one of his probably going to be one of his last movies ever. He's been talking about retiring for years now. Like they want to flex the fact that they have him. I did
Mhm.
love him as Gerald. I think when Gerald's writing was very serious, I really love that.
Yes.
Um, dude,
Yes. Yeah.
that one scene near the end,
Mhm.
perfect. The way he acts in that part, perfect. I wish there was a little bit more of that. Please, God.
Yes, I
I wish
agree. I
that
agree.
was
Yeah.
Gerald throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, me too.
I get why he was the way he was because it's like this very serious character coming into a world that's totally different and very like changed, goofy, silly, and he needs to find a way to manipulate that world to get what he wants. So I get why they went the route that they did, and I can still appreciate it for what it was. I really there's a lot of the Jim Carrey stuff that's there. I do really enjoy. But it's like what is it? I do wish, yeah, that there was a world where we could see more of that in the movie. But what is it? But I still, yeah, I can still love and appreciate like what we got out of it, and like there were some parts that just went fucking crazy. What was it? When it came to Sonic and everyone, I love the character. I think one of the strongest parts of this series is the character writing, and was and I loved everyone here. Tails, Knuckles, Sonic, everyone was perfect. The action scenes were like a ton of fun. Even yeah, like Bills, you were talking about how like Tom and Maddie. I adore Tom and Maddie so much for some reason, and like in this movie, I love their roles. Their roles are perfect for them. I love seeing them interact with the kids. I love how they're this little family like it's just so cute to see that like evolve over the course of like the three movies and now how they just act as like a unit. Like it's so great. And so like I can definitely agree with like I think yeah the pacing could get a little messy for sure. Um the story is like can get a little I, I'm still weird about the story because I think the way they adapted SA2 was very like concise to not like put all this baggage of knowledge onto the viewer to like know what all this stuff is, and they made it like for like for a 2 hour movie like you did the parts of SAT you had to, and it's clear and understandable, right? But it was like I love that they didn't like force that baggage onto the viewer, but there's still that part of me that wishes that we could have seen like the rest of it. Like especially when it comes to like a character like Maria, right? Like I think she was very adorable. I think she was great. But it was interesting the new take that they used for her. I still love that new take. Absolutely, I think she's
Me
still great.
too. It was
But
great.
it was also like it was like
Mhm.
interesting that they chose not to adapt this, and this, but they adapted this, and this. But yeah, overall, my favorite one out of the three, I thought was great. Like, I cannot wait for movie 4. Gimme, 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 gimme.
Yeah,
Yes.
well,
2027, baby.
woo,
And I need it
We are
now.
so bad.
it's
We are so
it's
bad.
very funny that they announced it. Like
They announced it
a
before
couple
the
of
Literally
days
movie
before
even
the
immediately.
came out.
movie.
I mean, they
That's why you
did the
should
same.
never kill yourself.
I mean, they did the same thing with 3 when 2 was about to release.
Oh, is that
That's
Gary?
true.
Yeah, it was like a week after. We were like, oh,
Yeah.
by the way, Sonic Movie
Yeah.
3.
So
Tee.
when they did that, I was like, okay, yeah, no, this. I was like, okay, well, thanks for kind of spoiling that. That they're gonna be post credits and they're gonna be used to set up the 4th movie. Thank you, I appreciate that.
But yeah,
But yeah,
you can't wait a little bit longer.
yeah, like at least a couple of days, maybe a week afterward. But yeah,
To quickly add before I think because I'm Battle Kid and Kaze haven't spoken yet. To add to
Yeah.
Koala's point about like the about not throwing too much of the baggage, you have to remember that SA2, the epilogue, the final story, they legit threw us the fact that, oh, by the way, Gerald's grandpa, yeah, he went insane after the whole Space Colony Arc incident and
Yeah,
broadcasted
literally.
that, and literally said, I'm about to blow up the planet. And literally seconds after his broadcast, they were like, fire, and they executed the guy. So it's
Yep.
like I wish they had that in the movie in some way or fashion, in the sense of like just throwing that to like the little Timmy out there,
Hmm.
because like 6-year-old me was like, what the hell, what?
Yeah, no,
Like,
it's like it's such a sick moment to like in the game to be like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? But
it's
also
like it
like
was like a
I
dark
get
moment.
why they didn't want to, because it would have been fucking nuts.
Look, man, if I was
I do think
traumatized,
they'll
little Timmy deserves to be.
I mean that's what I'm saying, but
God.
fuck the little Timmy's, like just traumatize him. But I do think
I
they
agree.
sort of achieved the same goal, just through the the whole like uh that whole like ending explanation with Gerald and him, and you know him like kind of like finally telling Ivo like his whole plan. I do think they kind of achieved that moment.
Yeah, fair.
I guess I can go
So,
next.
yeah, okay.
Gumi.
For sure.
Mm.
Okay, so how I feel about the movie, it's honestly, it's what I will say. I think it's the best movie out of the trilogy. Of course, it's not going to be a 1-on-1, but I think after watching the second movie, I've come to accept that the Sonic movie franchise is like its own universe. They're doing things their own way.
yeah. Hold
Yeah,
up
they'll
before you continue. I want to add on to that. I feel because we had a discussion about expectations that
Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the day, we have to like. I know, like at some point you gotta stop using the excuse of it's just a kid movie, yada yada yada. But it's hard not to use that excuse when you gotta realize there's gonna be new people that are introduced to this franchise, and like it's gonna be hard to adapt like the crazier stuff that like us diehard fans are accustomed to and want to see. Like there's certain stuff that like that are not in this movie that are in SA2 that like it sucks that they aren't in there, but I understand why, because it's probably going to be a little too much for like the younger generation to like consume and also handle at the same time. Because again, at the end of the day, it is still a kid movie. They got to adapt as much but not too much as they can to try to appeal to that target audience and also family in general, but also at the same time try to juggle at the same time giving the fans as much as they can, and like that's definitely probably not an easy thing for them to do, to have to juggle those two things. So like on one hand I can understand that we can critique it for like it being toned down and whatnot and stuff like that, but like at the same time you also gotta appreciate them trying to be able to do as much as they can with those limitations that they're given. Anyway,
I would say
Especially
not
keeping
even
that
just,
rating.
Exactly.
which
I was
is
saying
very
not
funny.
even just like the fact that it's like a kids movie, but the fact that it's a movie in general. Adapting a video game to a movie is so difficult. Like video
Mm-hmm.
games are on average like 20 hours long, and they can tell the way they tell their stories is so different to like to books, movies, shows. It's so different, and so it's like to adapt like what SA2 is like a 10-hour game, like at least like to adapt all of that in the form of a movie is like
Mhm.
so like it's so difficult, and on top of that you have to account for all of this other stuff, ratings and whatnot. And I mean this is expected to be an $800 million movie. Like yeah, we're going to lose like a lot of stuff, of course.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
only way
agree.
you wouldn't is like by just literally having somebody play the game with like all the cutscenes, and then having people sit in the fucking movie theater for like 4 hours and just watch the game. That's the only way you wouldn't lose literally everything.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I
continue,
mean,
Kazi.
yeah, no. Just to quickly answer that, too. Yeah, I think like especially during like because when people make video game movies, I mean, it's well known that oh, a video game movie, yeah, always turns out shit. But I think you know, once the Sonic movies started to come out, I think that's where it started to shift. People actually taking their time and you know fan service stuff with movies. That's how like the Sonic movie, then the Mario movie, and then other video games movies are in production because mainly I think the Sonic movie, the Mario movie, and I guess Detective Pikachu, if you want to count that too. I think that's what boosted wanting to like do better, put effort into video game movies in general.
I would also say Last of Us. I think the Last of Us show also helped.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
video
show was really good. Yeah.
Metro Pisco. But yeah, so go back on topic. Yeah, the movie I think it was phenomenal. As a like I know I can be a little biased as a song fan, but even looking at a general point of stand, it's a great movie. Sure, it's not perfect, but I mean, to me, I don't think there is a perfect movie. They're just really good in their own. So for Sonic 3, it's a good. I would say it's a good adaptation. Again, not 101, but it's a good adaptation for what it's supposed to be based on, which is Sonic Adventure 2. I loved how it was. I love the character development for some of the characters, which I'll get more deep into it later on. But I love how the character were. I especially love Shadow because I think for this movie specifically, I was mainly looking forward to Shadow because like, okay, how do I handle this character? How is Keanu Reeves going to deal with the character? And to me, Keanu Reeves, I feel like I agree. I don't know, say I agree with what they say. Where later on he started to feel more and more shadowy, started to more sound like Shadow. So I feel like later on he really just did his best as Shadow. I honestly feel like I love the Jim Carrey character, Angry and Gerald, which I will say, yeah, there is some moments where it did feel like a Jim Carrey character, not just Ice Eggman, which it's understandable. He was like that in one, he was like that in two, so most likely he's going to be like that in three, and that's how he is with other movies, like the Grinch, and so that's what I expected, but I I don't know if it's a hot take. I didn't find any problems other than we know the joke is going to happen because it's Jim Carrey. Obviously, people are going to going to be laughing for the jokes. But I think the jokes they did was good. I guess like there was like one or two that I'm like, it's okay. But like for the most part, it was good.
I will say
Uh,
there's one joke in particular that involves Shadow.
uh,
I think y'all know where I'm going with this, but
yeah,
it was it was it was a very scrumptious joke that he made.
it was
But we will get to that when we get to that. But yeah,
it
yeah.
was something.
Some of the jokes were clever. There were
Yeah,
probably one in particular that because I gotta watch the movie a second time and I'm going to. There was one in particular I was like, okay, I kind of chuckled on that. That was kind of funny. But
yeah.
yeah,
I feel like for the most part, it's like hit. Well, just for jokes in general, for just one, I feel like most of them are a mixture of hit and miss, but mainly just hits. And so,
They were mostly hits for me, to be honest.
yeah. The music, I think Junkie this time did a good job. Honestly, again, it's not like I would want to see more video game, more video game music. But I mean, for what he was given, I think he did a good job. I think for the most part, he did a good job. He tries to put some references to like the music and so, and I don't think there. I mean, besides one, I was like, okay. I think for the most part, the music in the movie was okay. They were mainly like cinematic type music, but still felt Sonic-y to me. And so I mean, I also love like the licensed music they also put in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was one in particular in Japan where I was like, I did not even know that it was them that did
when
it. Until I got told.
They
like
announced that
someone.
a few days before the movie came
Oh,
out.
did
and,
it?
like,
I did not know that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they announced
did.
that one
Yeah.
for Rock
Yeah,
Music.
yeah, I did not know
Yes, bro. I was screaming. I was like,
But-
ah.
that. I was like, oh, okay.
Which I will say later on. There's a scene connected to it that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I think for the most part, yeah, I think the highlight of it for me was like the action it had, because like I said, the visual team they did a good job with this, because obviously two had like some action, but like three is when they really locked in. It's when they really study. Oh, okay, we should put this for this, and then this part, and then this part. So they really did a good job with that. And for me, I honestly, it's hard because y'all were talking about before, like with critics criticizing the movie at times, and I feel like it's good to criticize the movie, but when it's about like when it's about like this, for example, like Sonic 3, it's more of it's an awkward place to criticize it. But there's definitely some flaws, I would say. You know, I will say some out of character stuff, but does that does that does that mean the movie's bad? No. I think like I said, the actions and the other stuff that is in the movie that I will discuss later, it makes up for it. It makes up for it.
I
So
agree.
honestly, for me, I'd say it's like a 9 out of 10. I would rank it a 10 out of 10, but like I said, there's some flaws that's like, it just, again, mostly hits, but some misses, and for where the flaws are in, there's some misses. But it's still a really good movie. It's still a great movie, I should say. And if you're a Sonic fan, then obviously this is the movie for you. Again, not 1-on-1, but this is the movie for you. But even if you're not a Sonic fan, I think people will still like it. I think people will like it. The only issue I will have is it did feel a bit at some point. It did feel a bit fast paced. I don't
Oh,
know
it
if
was
anyone
super
had
fast
that.
paced.
Like there's some part where it felt fast. But yeah, honestly, even with the flaws, I think it's a really great movie. And personally, me, I enjoyed it. It's like definitely the best one out of the trilogy.
Personally, me, I want to see it again.
Yeah,
Me too.
I don't know
Me
when I'm
too.
gonna see it, but I'm gonna eventually
Definitely
watch it
will.
again.
Same. I want to see it with
Yeah.
my baby
Yep.
cousins because I got them into Sonic, so like it'll be like a full circle moment.
Yeah, I have one of my cousins who I'm very close to, her son, and a big and growing up to be a big Sonic fan, and I have the biggest shit eating grin every time I hear that, and it makes me so happy that there's a younger generation that growing up to actually like this fucking blue bastard, and it warmed my heart to know that he's still getting fans out there. They watched. I haven't asked them what they thought of it, but I know they recently saw it the other day as well. All right. BattleKid, you're up. We'll let BattleKid speak. We'll chime in for any final thoughts, like any lingering final thoughts that we might have missed out on, and then we'll get the spoiler talk after that. But all right, BattleKid, you're up.
Finally.
Mm-hmm. Kaze, you said that it's hard to critique. Let me tell you, I can critique this game like any other Sonic game that's
Oh
released over the
God.
last 15 years.
That's
Oh
fucking
I
crazy.
love them.
no.
I love the movie. It is a great movie. I will critique this game to Kingdom Come. There's so much I can say
Fair.
about this game. So
Yeah.
much I can say about this movie, but it's still a good movie
I
overall.
love that
It's
you're
still,
calling it game.
yeah, I said game by accident, but movie. Uh, but there were many moments in the movie that were absolutely fantastic. There were so many times like once the movie started, like I want to say the first like 20, 30 minutes. There were many times where I was just Leonardo DiCaprio pointing like, I know that. Hey, I know that one.
Yes, me too.
Same.
Like at the very beginning, you probably know what it
Yes,
is when
yes, yes,
when
yes,
Sonic
yes.
when Sonic said the thing, and I was like,
Yes,
yeah, that's the
yes.
thing, that's the
Yeah,
thing,
that-
that's the
yeah.
thing,
Said the
that's the thing.
That is the
Mhm.
very first.
You did
Well,
the
no, I don't know what I want to say first. We talk about spoilers, but go ahead.
That's why I didn't want to say it. I just was like, that's the thing. But it was a fun movie. There were many times where I was just like, huh? They changed that? Or that's a weird thing that they just like put in there or left out. It's just like, and it's like, okay, with like example, it's like, okay, okay, Shadow is this, okay, whatever. We'll move on from that. Other than whatever, other than that, like things like the music, like I said, there's one song that I'm amazed they didn't put in there because that's like top 3
Mhm.
like songs in Sonic Adventure 2, if not the entire franchise.
Mhm.
But live and learn is
Yep.
all we need, whatever. Love and learn is all we need, whatever. Um I literally and the pacing was, you know, versus like, like you said before, like we said before, like the like 4 10-hour game that is Sonic Adventure 2, you try to pack all that into this like 1.5, hour movie. It's like, yeah, you can't expect, them to adapt the entirety of what SA2 is, especially when
Yeah.
they're trying to put in everything that's like not everything, but like some things from Shadow the Hedgehog as well. So, you can't expect everything to be in there. They're probably going to flesh that out in another movie or like a spin-off or something. Uh, uh, I'm trying to think like what else I can say besides like that. Uh, Shadow, his little thing with like Sonic, like it was really good to see that and his connection with him like towards the end because I don't really think we got really that in SA2
We didn't.
and
Not really.
No,
No,
not
as
no.
really.
as well as with like we got so much more Maria because in like SA2
Yes.
we just got her. It's just like, oh,
And
Shadow,
the same
I'm dead
flashback
now.
like 3 different times.
Right. It's like SA2 is just like, oh, I'm dead now. And it's like, okay, that's Maria. And Shadow's like, well, I'll fight for her. In this movie, we see so much more of what she has going. We have so much more of like what she has going on, a reason to care about her and Shadow's connection with her and like why he's doing what he's doing. There was like a lot of there was for me personally, there was one particular scene or two scenes with Jim Carrey Robotnik that I was like, okay, that's neat, but we got so much of him. There was too much of him. He had to. You got to get out of here, man.
Mm.
He did. I will say what we did get from him was a good. He did good,
It was great. It was just
but
too much. That's the
it
issue.
was
It needed to
way
get
too
it
much.
needed to get toned down just a little bit.
Like there was just way too much of what he had going on. And but then you know it was like I completely ignored all that once we got to like the last like 30-20 minutes of just absolute Dragon Ball action that was just insane going on, and I was just like, oh my god, that right there,
Yo, for real.
that's just like that. Oh my
They
gosh,
were
they're
boxing,
fighting.
bro.
Oh my god, they were really boxing. They were like, I was like, oh my god, that's just like Goku. He did that. Oh my gosh. Just like I was like flailing my arms, just like, oh my god, dude, oh my gosh. But
Ignore arm.
yeah. But overall, this is I believe this is a really really good movie. It's the best of the three, despite it being a little weird in some places with the pacing. Some parts definitely need to be fleshed out a little bit more. I feel as though some characters were just kind of it's like, okay, whatever. They're just gone. They're just gone, like the one guy at the beginning.
Mm.
But
Oh god,
but
I forgot about that. I dead ass forgot.
I forgot about that too. I ain't even gonna lie. You just reminded me of that. Yeah.
But and again, it was really cool to see like certain characters, finally interact. See how far some characters have come since they've been introduced, like in the last two
Mhm.
movies.
Mhm.
and to see like some characters like how their dynamic is now like seeing how Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, what are they like now? And Shadow comes in, he just kind of breaks up everything. He's just like, well, now I'm the strong guy.
He was like, T.
But yeah, yep. This movie, great. I'm not sure if I want to give it like an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, but there's so many things I want to say, but I don't want to spoil. But yeah, fun movie, loved it, and yeah, that's it.
Period.
Nice.
Yeah.
There any final thoughts and anything that we didn't discuss before we get in the big spoiler talk?
Yes, I love Shadow the Hedgehog.
I feel like
I'm ready,
most
I'm
of
ready.
my thing will be more spoilery.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
All right.
I will say this
Yeah,
weird thing
I'm
that happened
ready.
in my theater when
I'm so ready.
When I went into the theater, it was like all black. It was this beautiful theater. When I came out, the entire theater was white. It was really weird. I don't know why that happened.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
you need help,
What?
dog. You actually need help.
Bro
What the
ascended.
fuck?
You actually help.
Pookie.
Bro
Pookie.
floated up from his
Pookie.
chicken
Pookie, you're about
chair.
to
It
lose
was like
Pookie
Gojo.
status.
Bruh.
Bro had a Gojo moment. Alright. So I think spoilers now?
All right. Now before we get started,
Yeah, let's get a count.
I'll start us off.
Alright.
Okay. Before we get started, I just want to let y'all know what we're gonna. Way I'm commanding this, we're gonna start off with the 30 minutes, and there's one particular thing about it
I would be very mean.
that I feel like we need to be appropriate and call out Paramount for. In five, we'll start spoiler talk now. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Paramount fucking hid Super Shadow from us. What the fuck?
Oh my
god! There is no way.
Can I
That
just
shot's
Can I just
crazy.
say something first? Can I
That
just say
shot was
something?
insane.
Can I just say something? It's okay. So, did anyone order the Shadow popcorn?
Yeah, that is my discussion. That is what happened. I walked in the AMC. I turned left.
Hold on.
That was a spoiler?
No,
Apparently
hold on.
That was?
Wait, how?
I walked in the AMC. I turned left. They did not have the regular Shadow by himself in the popcorn tin. They had the other cover on the other side show Super Shadow towards the audience or the lobby.
Sonic 2 McDonald's.
That's insane.
Oh,
So
damn.
I'm like, okay,
That's
I knew he was gonna
insane.
be in it. I expected it, but like, god damn, did you really? You couldn't just let me wish that it was gonna happen? Like, fuck y'all.
Dog, it was.
Yeah, man, dude.
It was such. Can I show my camera real quick?
Yes.
Sure.
No. Okay. So. I'm
Oh my
really
god,
messy.
KaZeKunai.
Look. Okay. So you see, you got the Shadow popcorn bar, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But when you turn the fucking sides, it's
Oh,
fucking Super Shadow.
Oh my.
I didn't even know
Oh
that.
my
I didn't have that
God.
in my
Hold on,
theater.
hold on.
I didn't have that either.
Hold on, let me.
No, it's always like
I see.
Oh, no wonder. Because I
That's
went to
what-
Regal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you turn
Yes.
the side, Normal Shadow, Super Shadow. I'm fucking
That's
disappointed.
funny.
dog.
That's
That's
actually
funny.
so
I had
funny.
no idea. I was like, what are you
Yes,
talking
yes.
about?
That is what I got spoiled
I
on.
didn't
That
even
that was
know.
my
I had no
tweet
idea either.
when I was getting mad at AMC because I made a tweet and I was like, "There's no fucking way this fucking theater spoiled Super Shadow for me." Anyway, that doesn't
can I
matter.
just say-
That was the
Okay.
hypest fucking last 30 minutes of that fucking movie. Holy
sir.
fucking shit!
Can we talk
Big
about
shit.
Can I just say,
Can we talk
can I
about
just
Eek
say real
right now?
quick to start it off? Watching those 30 minutes, watching the fight, the Dragon Ball Z style fight, bro. I'm just gonna say it, and I don't care. I don't care what people are gonna say. Shadow ain't beating the Vegeta allegations. That's all
No,
I'm
he's
saying, bro.
not. He
That's all I'm
never
saying.
will. Sonic
He
is
ain't
never
beating
gonna
it.
beat
He
him.
ain't beating it. He ain't beating those allegations because that fight was legit like the Goku and Majin Vegeta fight. It was legit
was
like
the
that.
same
I had the
fight.
same
That's
feeling. Like you can put Bruce Faulkner music in that and it fucking works. It just works.
Bro, I was gonna say those last 30 minutes when they finally do their DBZ fight and they're both in their super forms, I like it is so cool because like Sonic's never done that before. I don't think.
No,
Like,
Yeah,
two
it
it
characters
was
popped
fighting in
up.
super
crazy. I was like,
forms.
what the
So
fuck,
like
bro?
that
They
was
were
like some
boxing,
frontier
bro.
stuff.
It's so
Dude,
unique.
Dude, I think what sent me chills if Shadow was like, "Where's your friends and stuff?" And when he mentioned Tom, the way Sonic just punched
Oh
him.
my god!
Oh,
Wait,
When
can
he
we talk about
said
this? Can we talk
when
about,
he
bro? I expect the super dark Sonic to pop off, right? I was like,
No,
yo,
the way he
holy
delivered
shit.
that line.
Sonic
The
what was
way he
his
getting
delivered that
name?
line.
Tom,
Oh,
Sonic
and he
getting
just
pissed off at Shadow accidentally punching Tom and pretty much almost killing that man off because he lived at the end. Like, yeah, like
because
yeah.
but and Shadow actually looked like concerned and whatnot, but like it doesn't matter. Sonic is pissed and whatnot because there was this whole thing of like cause toward in the movie when they're making a plan to go to London, they're like, okay, we're gonna save the Master Emerald. We don't need it. Like we'll use it like in case of emergency and whatnot. About the choices you make and whatnot. This motherfucker was like, fuck all that. Knuckles, if you don't give me
no.
this Master Emerald, I am
If you
throwing
don't give
hands
me
at
Bills,
Yes,
you.
let me talk
bro.
about that because when Sonic went up to Knuckles and he was like, "Give me the Master Roll, tell me where it is," and he was just about to crash out on Knuckles, I was like, "No," I was like, "Sonic,
That
please
is
chill,
why people
please
are
chill, man."
that is
No,
why
like,
people are switching up on Sonic.
no,
That
because,
moment right
okay,
there.
I think for me, it felt a character because like even he was
It did,
being
but it was
mean
still
to
wrong.
Tails. So
But it was
like,
good. I don't
It was
care. I
still
love
wrong.
him.
I was like, he
Personally, I
was.
loved him.
The thing is, he's in
That
his
was not out of
emotions,
character.
I mean,
Here's
yeah,
The
he was
thing is,
emotional, but
right?
personally speaking, I don't think that was out of character for Sonic
I
because if
don't
Me
you
either.
neither.
recall,
Me neither. Me
there's
neither.
been moments in the Sonic franchise where Sonic crashes the fuck out
Yes,
for those
bro.
reasons. The Dark Sonic in Sonic X,
Yes.
I think towards the end game portion of Sonic and the Black Knight with Merlinda, I think that was also another like
Merlina.
crash out moment.
Merlina.
Yep.
Merlina with Merlina,
Hmm.
fucking Sonic Unleashed, the Egg Dragoon fight towards the end when literally
Fucking
Eggman's like,
secret
yo,
rings too. Like, come on, bro.
Right.
Sonic, when literally Sonic's like, yo, Eggman, chill the fuck out, and then proceeds to just like go ham on him. Like Sonic has had moments where like he will crash
Yes.
out because
Yeah.
he's at that boiling point of like, dude, I'm fucking tired of this.
Yeah,
But
and
I
even
think,
in
But
I
this
him
think that's the
standing
thing.
up to Knuckles was like, it just to me it was on brand.
yeah, and in this
I
movie,
agree.
like in this movie or in this movie franchise, we have never seen Sonic get to this point in general. Like, if there's something that like
Oh
critical
yeah, for
happens,
sure.
he pretty much comic like is like, okay, we are at our wit's end, but fucking, I'm still Sonic the Hedgehog and I'm still him and whatnot. We have never seen him to the point where you're like, all right, fuck all this. I'm tired of playing the nice guy. I am taking the fucking Master Emerald and I am going to do this. Here's the thing. Arbor. I expected they were gonna do that when they were like teasing like with James Marsden or with Tom and whatnot. I kind of expected that they were gonna go the route
No,
of
yeah, for
he's
Ooh,
sure.
gonna
that's
he
for
might
sure.
Yeah,
die.
They
yeah,
say
yeah.
something
They,
about
they were
that.
gonna
Yeah.
hurt, yeah, for sure.
I was
For
gonna say
sure.
this to Kaze's point, right? I don't disagree that,
That
like
is true, though.
crashing out like that is like on brand for Sonic, right? But movie Sonic's a very different like type of portrayal. So
That's
while
true.
it's not like impossible for him to crash out, like I could have seen that happen naturally, but it didn't feel like it was built up to it all. It was just like when they're going to London, Sonic's completely fine. When they're in London, Sonic's completely fine. There is no like he's never like mad or anything. He's totally level-headed. And then Tom gets hurt once and he's crashing out completely on Knuckles. And it was like, okay,
I,
hold on. Where was the buildup for this?
yeah,
I
I
think the build up for
No,
that
but if you,
was
uh-huh. Sorry, what were you gonna
no, you
say?
go. No,
I
you go.
think I think it was very appropriate for him because if you think about it, he's still like a kid in this Sonic movie time. So he's never felt that sort of like grief before. That was like the first time Sonic has felt like and Sonic movie, Sonic has felt like such grief and such like anger. So I really do think like as a kid, like if you're in like a kid perspective and you've never experienced that before, that is a very normal thing for a kid to like crash out on. Like to start like being like I don't care, like going crazy, you know what I mean?
I would say, but
I think it
he
was
didn't feel that
very
grief
He
before
did.
because
brand.
he
he
did.
watched Long
Lo-
Claw die.
Well, there's
Longclaw.
that, and also
Yeah, but
in two
but
when
also
he
like
saw Tails get downed.
but also like it was just I don't know, I just feel like he's grown a little bit more in this. Like it was more like a teenage him. Like he understood a lot more. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain
That's
it.
the part that makes it weird because he was very level-headed the entire movie. When Gun attacks them, he's like, you're not getting answers out of Gun. When they fight Shadow, like he agrees that he was being irresponsible by going off on his own. He was very level-headed the whole movie. He did shit that was that was irresponsible, but he agreed that it was irresponsible. So it didn't make sense when he just when it just there's no build up, he just fully crashes out. I agree, it's a good moment. Like I think it works, but like the zero build up to it is like it feels weird, and that's what makes it feel out of character.
I guess
The way I
my
see it,
take.
okay.
Oh, okay. No. I guess my take is the way I see it is like I feel like it's kind of parallel to how Shadow feels because later on when Supersonic grabs Shadow, Shadow's like, oh, so now you feel the anger that I felt before for 50 years. I feel
Yeah,
like it
that's
was
what I was
like
gonna say.
parallel in it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Where it's like the whole point of the Sonic crash out, and then like when Tom got hurt, it was like that parallel. And the reason for me, the way I can understand Sonic crashing out is because you see sort of Sonic in his Sonic way trying to like rationalize with Shadow and saying, "Listen, like, dude, like we've been to the lab, we've seen what happened. Like, I think you're on the wrong side of history here, buddy." And then when Shadow sort of repeats the same mistake that happened to him, and then he just doesn't give a damn about it, that's where Sonic is like, bro, you're doing exactly what we're trying to not have you do. And so that's why he's sort of pissed off in the sense of like, dude, I have to throw hands with him.
I can see that better. Yeah, now that you mentioned it, because
Yeah.
like that was the one big thing throughout the movie where it's like he was trying to reason with Shadow the entire time, and that motherfucker would not listen. Now, to be fair, when
No.
he did punch Tom, like he saw that for a second, like he saw the
Yeah,
mistake, but of
Yeah.
course Sonic didn't see that he saw that.
Right.
Right. Exactly. And with Shadow here, since we're on spoiler territory, I don't like his origin story
I
here.
don't like it. I hate it. I hate it.
I
Wait,
hate
who's
the fact, I understand because like the previous two movies they basically pull the Sonic X on Sonic and Knuckles and Tails where like they come from different worlds and different planets, and
Yeah, they're
so
all
you
aliens.
could make they're all basically aliens, and so Shadow being a meteorite is just
So here's
wrong to me.
Also in Oklahoma,
so
of all
here's
places.
I
here's
see what you're
here's
saying.
my thing. Here's my thing. In the original games, Shadow looks like Sonic. They're twins because
Yeah.
Shadow should be based on the mural of Supersonic from Angel Island. So why does he look like Sonic here? Why are they twins now?
So this is my thing.
Are
This
they
plays a
like
little bit in my
biological
theory.
twins actually?
Dude, I have a theory. I have a
'Cause,
theory
like,
with like the fucking
Ooh,
hedgehogs and
a
all
I was gonna
that
say,
for the
be-
games. Oh, dude.
because this is the thing. They're gonna give Shadow like his own movie or show it, right? And like
Yeah, yeah.
he came in on a like a comment that looked similar to the Black Arms fucking comment. And
Yeah.
I was saying like
Yeah.
now that he's entirely alien, it'll feel way more natural for when they do a Shadow movie to make that Shadow of 5 and adapt like the invasion. I was saying I think, and they make the line specific in the movie where they say Shadow knows nothing about his homeworld. He does not know his purpose. And I was saying
He
maybe
has
they're gonna
amnesia.
pull like he has amnesia. I was saying they're gonna pull a DBZ like Goku where like they sent him to
Okay.
prepare the Earth for invasion, and he has no idea.
Oh,
Oh.
I see what you're saying.
But like
My problem is that it ruins the whole concept of Shadow, where Shadow was a project for the sole purpose of saving Maria, which, by the way, is something I didn't like about Maria in this movie.
Why was she there?
Yeah, why were they on Earth?
They
Why
didn't-
were that was
Why are they
weird.
on Earth?
Yeah, because she wasn't
Why
even
was
like
there no arc?
Exactly.
they
Why
didn't
were they
say
on
that.
Earth?
Yeah,
Why
they
was
didn't
there
She
say
no
wasn't
was
sick. She
sick.
wasn't even
Yeah,
sick.
she wasn't sick.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. There's one thing I will say about like I said, it's not gotta be a one-on-one, but I think the thing that doesn't make Maria is obviously one she isn't even sick. Also two, I feel like her personality in the movie compared to the game, because in the game she felt all calm, all like very calm, but in the movie she felt like whimsical. She can do all this fun stuff.
Yeah, in the
So
movie,
yeah,
she was
that's
more of just your average teenager rather than.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
that's how she
Exactly.
should be. We just didn't get much of her in the games.
Yeah.
No, but the problem. Well, I can't really talk about Sonic and Shadow Gens though because Silver hasn't beaten it yet.
Don't.
But
Thank
but,
you.
but, but what I
You
could
gotta
say,
play
but what I
Thank
could
you
say,
so much.
play the game.
but
Shut the
what
fuck up,
we
Lulu.
could say in terms of that game, at least with Dark Beginnings, Maria was showcased in a more whimsical manner, but at the same time, like she was that grounded character,
That's
which
true.
the movie didn't really do much. Like again, Maria didn't feel like Maria in this movie. It just felt like blonde girl who happens to be
Just a
Gerald's father,
teenager.
Gerald,
Yeah.
like young teenager. And and to go back with like the whole idea of me hard critiquing this movie, one of the reasons why I'm hard critiquing is because Shadow's origins is one of the biggest plot points of both Gerald, Maria, and
Mhm.
just the entirety of the franchise and what they use him moving forward. So the fact that Gerald doesn't, yeah, he experiments on Shadow, but the fact that he didn't create
Create
him
them.
and was like the driving force of saving Maria, which is what Shadow was initially, you know, was the whole purpose of him. You know, it
Yeah.
sort of loses the tone of what Shadow's character was really all about.
Now he's just a
They
random
just
fucking alien that crashed on Earth and they were just
he's just
observing.
Vegeta. They straight up made him Vegeta in the movie,
Yep.
where like he crash landed and he's like, oh, now I'm gonna, which is cool and all, but like I
Yeah.
just wish they added more of that gravitas to Shadow.
Yeah, it goes against like his original like themes and shit to just be like this random fucking alien that just crash landed. Hey man.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Also,
And
because go ahead.
no, go.
I was gonna say because I was gonna switch topic. We were gonna segue. That does lead to her death. Okay, so
I knew they weren't going to do it.
I understand. I figured they weren't gonna shoot her. I knew they were gonna.
Yeah, they had to
when
keep
they
that
when they
rating.
showed it in
They
the
had to keep that rating.
when
bro.
they hinted it in the trailer, I figured it was gonna be an accidental explosion, and that's exactly how it was.
I feel like
Nah,
that's
man,
like
they should have commit.
I feel like that's
No,
kinda
they
the
didn't stop me.
smart-
They
that's
couldn't.
like- I feel like that's like the smart way to go off on it though, because while it isn't shooting, it involves like
It's the
shooting
best
at
they can
something.
do.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I appreciate how close they got to it. I think what
Me
was
too,
more
me too.
important than actually shooting her was the imagery of this guy pointing a gun at
Yeah,
children.
he almost
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
Fair.
I
You
like
know
how
what? Yeah,
I like how
fair.
the guy was saying too, like, "Oh, what are you doing? They're just children. Like,
Yep.
what are you doing?"
Yeah,
and I was like,
Walter.
I was
"Yo!"
like, I
and
think
that
the
was
most
I think
important
that
part
was a
was that
great
imagery.
callback to it. I think that was a really great callback to that.
Yes.
Kaze!
They should have shot him.
Oh my god.
Oh, hold on. Let me
Jesus
let me
Christ.
chat.
I'm
Let me.
sorry. I'm sorry. When I first saw that scene,
Oh my
KaZeKunai.
God, in the movie.
You can't blame
KaZeKunai.
me, dog. You
Chat,
can't
hold on.
blame me.
Kaze.
Chat, hold on. Let me grab this real quick. Where?
What?
Also, I do
Yeah.
have if we can go into oh my god, if we can go into theories for
Oh,
one
God.
second.
Can
Oh,
I just say?
God.
Can I just say real quick also?
Chat, look at this.
Oh my god, bro. I can't.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I hate you for that. Oh my god. That's it.
Can I?
In the movie Shadow
just-
with a child, grandchild, of Gerald, small detail when
Yeah.
Gunn came to take Shadow away, referred to them both as children. They thought it connected even if Gerald didn't create. That's fair.
No, it's true
Yeah.
because he even said children. He was like, "Children, we gotta
Yeah.
go." Like,
Yep, in
Yeah.
the full fight, in the
Yeah,
full
Shadow
fight, and I
was-
love that
was
part when he
treated,
goes,
yeah.
he goes and he goes,
me
"Kids."
too.
That
Yeah,
that
he said, "Kids, we
characterization there
have
was
to go."
so
Kids.
good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And even and
I
then
won't-
even the fucking old guy. What's his name? Even
Yeah,
says,
I don't
"Those
know
are
his name.
children."
But he was
He
like,
literally
"Those are
refers to
children. What are you
Walter.
doing?"
Walter.
No,
Commander
that is a
Walter.
child. Those are children.
No, you know
It was-
what?
it was Walter.
You know what
Walter, yeah.
line? You know what line hits in the movie? When
What?
when Gerald said to Eggman, "You're not Maria."
Yo,
You're not
yeah.
right.
that,
Oh
yo,
my
that
God.
was
Fucking
crazy.
It was-
That
I was like,
shit-
It was an expected line.
I was
that
like, that
shit hurt.
hurts.
Bro, that was
It was an expected
crazy.
line,
I think
but I have
that's
to say, I just didn't think it was that. It was impactful, yes, in the context of like what we got. But then when you like look at it from afar and be like, these guys spent way too much. Like they didn't spend that much time for like Gerald to be like, yeah, man,
Fuck
Well,
you.
I
You're not
think the
Maria.
reason why
yeah,
it hurt is
okay. But I
because
guess-
what's different about this is that Ivo never knew that Gerald existed, which is a weird
That's true.
change. It is a weird change that he doesn't know
I didn't
Maria
like that.
or
I didn't
Gerald.
like that.
Yeah, I didn't care for that either, but whatever. Like, so like from that perspective and knowing that knowledge, the reason why it hit as hard for Gerald is because he never grew up with, like, he doesn't know where he's from, and he didn't know that he had family that existed. So when he found out that his grandfather is alive and that he finally gets to spend time with him, he feels like, oh, I finally have someone to bond with. I'm gonna get attached to. And then not even like a couple of days later, you get told you ain't shit. You're not this person that you've never seen before. That shit hurts.
You're not your cousin.
Yeah. It's just I wish they'd gone like the games route a little bit where like Eggman knew of Gerald and things like that, and to sort of like go with the Frontiers reference in the Eggman tapes, where like Eggman goes like, I was right there, and they gave her so much treatment, like she was the favorite. Meanwhile, like I was like right there. So I wish like they had that with Jim Carrey, where like I'm so happy like Jim Carrey's like Eggman and things like that, and like he plays the character well in the confounds of like the logic of the universe they're setting. But if we really wanted to have like the Eggman, it would have been nice to have like those more serious moments that Sonic Adventure 2 provided for Eggman. Remember, Eggman and Sonic and SA2 pointed a gun at Amy. Like you have to remember that.
Yeah.
And this game was
Right.
He didn't give a fuck.
like we have to remember like this is also Eggman, where like he also doesn't give a shit. So I wish they did more with that, and like they kept some of the game's plot lines so that you would still have that impact, but like you have more of Eggman's, but you would have a lot more of Eggman's background rather than the cliche, oh, I didn't know I had a long lost family member.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, it doesn't even make sense because, like, even though, yeah, Eggman's like an orphan, like, Robotnik's like the smartest guy on the planet. Like, most people just expected that Gerald was dead. So, like, if he knew that he had, like, an amazing grandfather, he would have figured that he was dead, and then he just shows up later, and he's like,
Exactly.
Bab. So it, like, makes no fucking sense for them to be like, oh, yeah, no, like, he just had no idea he existed. Like, why wouldn't he? He was like, this is the smartest guy on the planet. He doesn't know that he has family. He's never used Ancestry.
Exactly, dude, man. 23, like 23andMe. Come on,
Like literally.
You can hack into
But,
any
yeah.
military thing, but you didn't look up and see that your grandfather was still alive. Okay.
You couldn't submit your saliva as DNA, and like you could do it yourself.
I think he didn't really
He
give a
did it-
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It probably comes down to that.
He even
Yeah.
said it. He was like, I don't care.
He just accepted it, and it's like, oh. Well.
Yeah, he was like, I don't
Which is-
care.
I mean, which is kind of funny too, because okay, so before I watched 3, Ivy watched the first 2 movies.
I wanted to, and I forgot to.
Yeah, and I think what caught me surprised was when Eggman said, I think there was some point in the first movie where Eggman said he was in an orphanage. So
Yeah,
it made
he
me
said he
wonder.
was in an
Yeah,
orphanage.
he established it in
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Which
it made
again, I
me
feel like
wonder
it's
what Shahar was
dumb.
like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I have so much. It's because like I just saw the movie, so I do
Yeah.
apologize if I'm speaking too much.
No, I'm
But
not good.
but dude, man, I love the other meme references they did for SA2. You know what I'm saying? Like I've come to make an announcement, and
Yeah.
You
No,
pissed
no, no,
on
no,
the
no.
moon.
I need-
You
I
pissed
need-
on the
I love it.
moon.
I didn't think they were gonna do the announcement thing, but I love
No.
how they. I do like that they didn't do it, but also like they did it a little bit differently.
They did a little bit
Shadow the
differently.
Hedgehog's a
There
bitch
was
ass
one
motherfucker.
thing. Okay, so there was one scene where it made me. It was when Shadow was watching the Soap Opera show, and I'm like,
Oh my god!
Latinas, yes.
I just
Oh
know
my
God,
the Latinas.
Should kill them both.
the moment
Just kill them
they
both.
showed that scene,
Gabriella
I was
should
like,
kill
"Boy,
them
this one
both."
had a gas
I was
station."
dying. I was like, not the Latina references.
No,
That's me.
Me too, bitch. You ain't special.
someone on Twitter said Shadow was invited to the carne asada, and I was like,
That's funny.
I was like, there's no way.
Okay,
There's no way.
And then to say revenge
Shadow
Glock
loves
was
me.
fun. Revenge Glock is a thing that Shadow the Hedgehog uttered out of his mouth.
okay, now
Shadow
now,
loves me. It's lit.
There's one scene I do want to talk about that made me fucking pop, or that made me geeked out. It's
Oh.
when they're jumping out the helicopter.
Yes.
Oh my
No,
god!
what?
Yes!
Okay.
Flight,
I
no
will-
movies. I'm out of
I
here.
will
outta
say,
here.
I'm mad
because I had this conversation with Aro in chat earlier about it. I popped off too. I do agree though that it sounded a little forced, but like I can't get mad at that
tad bit.
when I didn't
No,
you had to
expect
say
it to
it.
begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it did feel
I do agree,
forced,
it
but
was-
to be
it was.
honest, it was needed to be said.
He had to say the thing.
Yeah.
He had
and
to say a thing.
I think what made it hype is after that you got the one-off rock music playing in the background.
That shit was peak,
like-
bro. I was freaking the fuck out.
God.
And
then
that's
they
the
do
moment
heroes
where I'm
pose,
like,
they do a heroes formation in the land.
Yes, they did. I
and
cried.
that's the
I have
moment
a-
where I'm like, they didn't play City Escape? Okay, and no,
Yeah, I know.
no form,
Yeah,
no
what's
nothing?
weird-
No, no.
Okay, here's the thing, right? Apparently, City Escape
up for it.
is like labeled. As
Yeah,
in the
apparently
movie.
it's somewhere in the movie.
It's
But-
probably
okay.
he probably composed it a little bit and then he just named it City Escape. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
No, because it was literally talking about the songs that were like directly like referenced because those weren't like the names of the songs.
Yeah.
But it was the ones that like they licensed to use for the movie. So it's saying like City Escape,
Oh, I
Eggman.
see.
Yeah.
Or
I
Eggman,
see.
it's like,
Eggman
yeah,
was there.
using
I
all
heard the
those.
theme. I heard
It
the
wasn't
theme.
his
it was
ringtone?
like a
Yeah,
Yeah,
ringtone.
so
It
it
was like a
was
ringtone.
ringtone.
I have a
I
question
hear
for
it.
all you guys,
Yes.
and it could lean a little bit towards theory category. Do you think we will actually have chows, or do you think it'll just be that one
Chow?
little Easter egg?
I
I
don't know.
think so.
Maybe,
I think so.
potentially.
It
I think
depends
so.
on if they
It
ever
depends.
introduce chaos, because I don't know how you can implement the
Oh,
chaos
that's true.
without implementing chaos. So like I
See,
feel
that'd
like
be insane
so
to
I-
have
I,
it.
so I feel like no.
That'd be insane for them to do an SA1 story with Shadow.
I also
on it.
kind of don't want them to do chaos
true.
because it feels
I
like
was-
I don't know because they didn't implement BioLizard and it obviously they weren't going to do that.
Yes, he
Like,
was. He was Godzilla.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Okay,
I
no, I
forgot.
forgot.
I forgot he got
It-
referenced.
I thought it was Godzilla at first, and okay, it's fucking BioLizard.
I was gonna say, here's the thing. They didn't do BioLizard, which is why I think they will do Chaos to give Sonic and Shadow that BioLizard type fight.
Maybe. Well, I feel like I feel like the big Shadow and Sonic fight is going to be in here in the because this is now we're segueing into post credits. Motherfucker, we're getting Metal Sonic. Holy fucking shit,
Dear
we're getting
Lord.
Metal and
No.
Amy.
He looks perfect.
Wait, he looks
looks-
amazing.
He
Yes,
looks
he
awesome.
yes,
It's like a
yes.
1-to-1.
He looks so
Dude.
perfect, bro.
God.
I was dying, bro.
I was
Amy
like,
looks ugly.
that's-
I ain't gonna lie, Amy looks ugly as fuck.
What?
I thought Amy was.
She looks
I
okay,
thought
okay,
she was
okay,
cute.
That's
okay.
crazy.
Guys,
She
it's
looks
like-
ugly
That's
as
Amy was
shit. I
fine.
can't even
You're
lie,
the
bro.
first
Can I
person
just
to
say-
say
No,
that.
she looks ugly, bro.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
insane.
Insane.
She looks ugly. She looks ugly,
Guys,
bro.
can I just say in regards to that post credit, you know what immediately popped into my mind in terms of what would be like the coolest thing for Sonic Movie 4? If like the
Me.
final fight with Metal is almost not a 1-to-1, but like a reference to the Sonic OVA
Yes, I
of
was gonna
Sonic and
say.
Metal
Dude.
fighting
Ooh,
in
Yes,
when
I
they
was
do the
gonna
headbutt,
say.
and like and
you
when they
might
do
or think I'm going to do, but that's
you
not
might
going to
think,
help you.
what time? What happened?
Dude,
Because
I
you ain't
think
know everything
next-
I'm going to do. Strange, isn't it? And then that'd be
Sonic
sick.
4
That'd be
Sonic
sick.
4 is 100% gonna be like CD, the OVA, and Heroes mixed
Yes,
together.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
have a
sure.
theory for it, but I'll say it for later.
I don't know about heroes, but maybe heroes.
No, I mean they definitely have some.
Well,
elements.
they have to do Heroes because it's Metal Sonic on his own. So like,
Oh,
it's,
yeah,
they
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
that's
take
right,
Heroes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, what I thought is that when they showed Metal Sonic, I was like, okay, cool, Metal Sonic. Then they showed an army, and I'm like, they're not going to do
Oh.
a Sonic Prime thing, are they?
No.
Oh,
Chill,
no.
chill.
Oh,
Don't even. Why would you
no.
manifest that, bro? Like,
I'm
why
so
would you?
sorry.
No,
Don't do that to us.
Here's
No,
what
no.
I think, Battle Kid. What they're probably gonna do with that is that there's gonna be one remaining metal. It'll be like an Ultron kind of thing, where
Yeah,
there's
that's
like the hive mind metal, and then there's sort of like it's like the more sentient one, and then there's like a whole army of them, and so they're kind of tracking down Sonic, Amy, and whatever it is, because it's clear. Sonic Movie 4 is clearly gonna be like similar to the first movie, except instead of Donut Lord, it's now Amy. And so like they're trying to like trying to like figure out a way to get to like Sonic and with Tails and Knuckles and things like that, because he's in New York. Like he went hella far. Like
Far,
where's
far,
Emerald Hills? Exactly. So I think that's gonna be a part of the plot. But I don't know, man. It's just it feels weird having Shadow first, then Metal.
Yeah,
When it should have been,
it should
you
have been
know.
I
the
think
other.
it should have been metal
It
first
should have
too.
been. It should have been the other way around. Also, that post credit was long as fuck. That I did not expect to get that lengthy of a
That was a
post-credit.
full fucking scene.
Like,
bro.
that was
shit
just
is
a whole
Right.
ass
crazy.
scene.
That
That
shit
shit
was
was
sick.
next
I don't
movie.
give a fuck,
That was
bro.
a
I don't
scene,
give a
man.
fuck. I don't care if it was long. That was beautiful, bro. I was like, oh my god.
Because
That
I was
was what
like,
I needed.
okay, we're getting metal, and then they kept going. I was like, oh, this is weird. They're still going. They already showed metal. What could they possibly show? And they're like,
Yo,
no,
I was
it
so
ain't
hyped
me.
that I didn't even notice it was long, bro. I'm dead ass.
Also-
I had no idea it was long.
I say Boyan said in the chat. Last night we were rewatching that post credit scene.
Yeah,
and we
they're
read
all
a comment
great.
under YouTube. Yeah, they're all great besides the one metal song that we see at the
Yeah.
beginning, and he's not
Huh.
there, so I assume he dipped.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think. And they're for sure gonna do like a whole faker stuff because we didn't see that with Sonic movie
Oh
3.
yeah,
'Cause
we
we already
did
like,
it. They're definitely gonna do
dude.
faker shit.
Ah.
They're
Because
definitely
John-
gonna do
because
faker
They
shit.
did. I never
Oh my
So-
god.
I totally forgot about that actually.
So they might
yeah.
do that. So they might do that, and we might have a bus scene in New York
Dude,
because of
oh
course
my
it'll be in New
God.
York.
Yeah, true.
I'd say
You know?
also even more reason for them to adapt Heroes, multiple Metal Sonics. Like,
Yeah.
I really feel like it's gotta be next movie.
Can
Yeah.
I say a little theory? It might be a little dark, but it's. I was like, I realized that when I was watching the movie, I was like, damn, this is. I think he's trying to like say something. So it was during the fight of Supersonic when he got like really mad at Shadow, like to the point where he was literally like gonna punch him in the heart, like he was gonna kill him. And like Shadow was literally like, do it, like just do it.
You won't.
Do it right here. And I was just like,
no
no,
balls.
no. Like I was just like, I was really looking at that scene in like more of like a psychological way.
Mhm.
And I was like, holy shit. Like I really feel like Shadow's just telling him just like to like kill him because he's just, I feel like it was more of like a suicidal thing. If I was really looking at it in that perspective, because I was just like, if you really think about it, like he lost Maria, like he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. Like he woke up and he's like, I hate everything. I'm over it. Blah blah blah. And he literally was just like, just do it. You have the opportunity. Like it was like kind of he was saying like, I don't even care what you do to me right now. Like I just don't give a fuck. And I was just like, yo,
to be fair, that
brother
was the
wants
whole
to
plan.
die. Brother wants to just die. Brother don't give a fuck. And then that's true. That's what like my whole
Is that
thing
why
was
he
like, oh my
turned off his
god, I
super?
was right because he like didn't like the whole plan was like to kill everyone and it didn't
Yeah,
matter.
everyone's gonna die, including Gerald,
Yeah.
including
Yeah.
Robotnik, everyone's
Yeah,
gonna die.
everyone was gonna
What-
die. And so when he was just like, just do it, I was like, oh, brother wants to commit. He wants to commit suicide. Oh my god, this is crazy.
One of the things that I love about Shadow's character and Battle Kid, I think you'll appreciate this because you're a Mega Man fan.
Hey now.
Shadow is also kind of like Zero, where Mega Man, where to give context, so Zero and Mega Man X4, for as much as for us Mega Man fans like to make fun of this, when he says the line of like, what am I fighting for? Because like
What am I
some
fighting
circumstances
for?
because of circumstances that happened. No, but like in the context of like that game, because X4 is one of like the darkest storylines. Basically, Shadow is kind of like that type of character where he's like he doesn't know what he's fighting for, so he's kind of like depressed, which is why Shadow the Hedgehog exists because they're trying to like give him that purpose,
Yep.
which leans
Right.
towards Sonic 06. So Shadow is saying that it's like, oh, you got no balls. It's sort of like, look, man, like I give up on life because life is gonna go away in a few minutes anyway. So it's like, come on, just do it. Like,
Mm.
That was some
So-
suicidal shit. That shit was kind of very
Yeah.
depressing. I was
That's
like,
also-
damn.
That's also part of why he's so easily manipulated by Gerald. Like he barely even gives thought to what he's doing. He asks one time to Gerald if this is what Maria would want.
This is
Like,
what
'cause he
Maria would have
barely-
wanted. Yeah.
He's going so far like off of
Mhm.
emotion and that depressing feeling that like yeah, like he doesn't feel anything at that point.
He
know
doesn't
what he
care. Yeah,
wants,
it was very like I was looking at it, I was like, wow, like this is very dark. Like super duper dark.
Oh, for sure.
yeah, man. What else?
One interesting line
Mhm.
in the movie that I caught that Eggman said is when he said something along the lines of, "Oh, with me, my family bloodline, it ends here." And I'm just like looking over at Sonic Frontiers. I was like, "Yeah, that's interesting. Are they hinting at something here? It doesn't. Does it not? Does it or does it not?"
I
Is
don't
there a
think so.
little digital girl that you want to spawn out of
Oh,
nowhere?
dude, if they found
Oh
a way to do
god.
Sage,
Imagine Sonic 4. That's actually the plot line where
Yo,
Sage
I
is
was
the
thinking
one
about
that's
that.
making the metal with
I was
Agent
thinking
Stone.
about that.
Him and
Can you
Stone create a
imagine?
little girl.
Him and Stone created.
Yo, the Yaoi
Yeah, why
exists.
not? 2024,
That's
man.
how
Why
we
not?
get Sage.
I figure the
But
explanation for the medals will just be that Eggman created him in his downtime. Since
Yeah,
he was just doing that
it's
crap.
it's either A before movie 3 and after 2, or during when he got Sonic Quill again during 3.
I
I mean,
honestly,
Definitely at the
Eggman's
12.
not
He was just
dead
born.
clearly, so
this is a
they,
different theory. I think I think Stone might pull a Snively, where
They
I
could
think
also go to Stone Round as well, which I
yeah,
personally I wouldn't be against, honestly.
I wouldn't be against it too, but I feel like Stone is like AG Stone is more committed to being like Eggman in a way, or well before he was like his assistant, but I'm guessing if they were to go this route, he would probably want to be like Eggman.
Yeah.
Since we all know that he's dead now.
I was saying, I don't feel like Stone will turn evil just because I feel like Stone was evil because he was in love with Ivo, not because
Yes,
he
I
was
agree.
actually
Yeah,
evil
I
yeah.
agree.
individual.
Yeah.
I have a Sonic movie 4 theory with shout outs to Silver and Eye's mutual
Me.
Jayness. Yeah, Jay. Um, we were talking about some theories for Sonic movie 4, and he mentions that in Sonic CD they have the time stones, the whole time travel mechanic.
Mm.
So he, this is I'm trying. I'll read his exact words because it's not my theory. So he's like, my wild ass guess is that Metal Sonic is gonna be from the future, and they're gonna have this whole time travel plot line. And also he adds, it would leave things open to introduce the drink. I mean, Silver or Blaze as well.
What?
Oh,
Me.
really, that's funny enough. That's literally my theory too, because I
Just say
think
that's a Kaze
how
thing.
how I said was, they could adapt. They could also adapt Adventure CD and add Silver.
Yeah.
Well, my theory was, they still have, Amy's there, so she can represent Adventure, and I feel like
Hmm.
this also ties in because I can talk about what games got leaked, right? Am I allowed to talk about that?
What are we talking
What,
about?
what games?
Oh, with
New
Hero,
games got leaked.
with like heroes.
Oh, we're talking about the rumored Heroes
Oh, the
remake.
Heroes
That's
remake.
fine.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like it'll probably tie in with that in my theory at least. But I feel like with my theory, yeah. So Amy could fill in for adventures. I feel like instead of chaos, we could have like metal, where they all combine to metal overlord, and also
Ooh.
have silver in. So because I guess what MYL said, the Metal Sonic is from the future, or it could be from the future, which I could see a Silver mistaking that for Sonic. So him coming to the present and having a mini '06 event where Silver thinks that Sonic is evil.
Yeah,
That was
man,
my
it'd just
theory
be
at least.
cool. Yeah,
Silver,
it
why
would
would you
be
think
cool
that
to
Sonic is
see.
evil?
Yeah,
That's crazy, Silver.
Spoiler alert.
crazy
I'm
Silver.
actually in the movie. I'm going to be in the movie. I just wanna just
Yes,
let all
really.
y'all know that.
Yeah, man.
Asshole.
They call her
Yeah,
the
bro.
drink.
Here's the thing. I feel like
Bitch, I'm
it's
gonna be in the
weird.
movie.
It's weird. Like there is so many routes. I think the problem is that we get to the point where like we know Amy and Meadow is like,
It'd be too much to handle.
but like there's it's to the point where like if you we're adding anything after that, then it's like okay, we're starting to get to the point of we're adding a little too much because
Yeah.
then
And
people
that's how Sonic fans felt in the early 2000s.
because
There you go.
Come on, man.
because now there's either expectations for the chaotic to show up somehow,
Mm.
Silver and
They already
Blaze,
did.
yada yada yada.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they already
technically
did.
they did. Yeah.
The thing is, moving forward, the movies have to be at a. I hate using this comparison, but I mean to some degrees. There is a level of truth to it. Um, with Sonic Movie 4 onwards, if they plan to continue with this cinematic universe, they have to MCU it in the sense of like it needs to be a little bit more longer. There needs to be a little bit more nuance, and there has to be a little bit more of that sense of world building.
Which is what
Which-
they
Yeah.
stated they were trying to do, apparently.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Exactly.
Obviously,
what
it'll be
this
like a
movie did
smaller
well.
scale, but yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
question for everyone. Okay, so we all know they're making Sonic 4.
Yep.
After Sonic
Yeah.
4, how many movies do you think they'll make?
I
Two.
thought
think
they
do
should
Two. I was
movies.
saying two.
Two more?
too. To be
I feel
honest,
like-
I thought they were gonna. I felt like they always should have just ended at 3 and called it there. But like,
Yeah.
No, this is what I think. It's gonna be. We call it Sonic Movie 4 now, but I feel like it'll be Sonic Movie 1, 2, 3. And it's gonna be Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, and they're gonna start sort of like do sort of those nuances.
Yeah, they
those
put like a
sort of, like,
subtitle to
references.
distinguish it.
Exactly.
Well, I
Or
don't know what
something
you
like that.
mean, because the next movie is going to be called Sonic 4 Episode 1.
Oh my god, you're so
brother.
right!
Oh,
man.
brother!
I love it. I love it.
Dude, they can finally do Sonic 4 Episode 3. Hold up.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
And then
Sonic
we're
4
gonna
Episode 3 is crazy.
And then we're going to get the Netflix series that's going to be Metal Sonic going through the movies, but backwards, of
Yup.
course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but speaking of spin-offs and other stuff, we didn't talk about the second post credit, because the Amy and Metal one was the mid credit, and then there was a post credit afterward. Shadow lived, which okay.
That was kind
that-
of
I
obvious.
mean,
That
I mean,
was-
it's
Okay, yeah.
not- Yeah. God. I mean, here's my thing, right? If they were to do a spin-off for Shadow, then yeah, the movie is literally just it's over there. You can just do it. But I mean, there's also
It's
I
probably
don't know
gonna
if
be
y'all
involved
saw
Black
it.
Doom.
Yeah. I
I
don't know if
ge-
y'all saw too. The voice for Knuckles Idris Elba says he wants to do a Shadow and Knuckles spin-off.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as we heard those
That's-
words, we were like, oh, they're not gonna kill him off. They clearly want to do
Yeah.
another
Oh, yeah, of
Wade and
course.
Shadow
Yeah.
adventure.
I feel
No,
like
Wait,
another-
in Shadow?
Another-
Bro, what's Wade gonna do against Black
No,
Doom?
no,
Hold
no,
on,
no,
let
no,
me
no, 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 I have a funny joke. It'll be the Shadow and Knuckles show will be called Knuckles the Show, featuring Shadow the Hedgehog from the featuring Shadow the Hedgehog, like a DMC reference. Just put it like
Yeah.
the-
Like
think
Dante
the-
from Devil May Cry.
I think the way
Yeah.
I see Shadow the Hedgehog movies happening is like I say it would be on the same level as like how a Puss in Boots movie came from Shrek. Because
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
Maybe.
they're telling their
Yeah,
own
yeah.
side.
Shadow's gonna win the fight than that.
Exactly.
Oh god.
Speaking of that, Wade
Yeah.
is apparently
No.
guarding the Master Emeralds.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no,
I love
Dude,
that.
dude,
took
I
my
Heck
ear-
yeah.
Alright,
Okay, so
okay.
let me just say this. When Wei showed up, my whole theater popped off.
My
I've
God.
never
Yeah.
seen
Yes,
Everyone in my theater started
same. Everyone was like,
clapping.
yo,
Man,
it's
Wade's the goat.
Wade.
Wade's
Bro,
the goat,
everybody
man.
in that fucking theater watched the Knuckles show was like, this shit's alright. And then Wade, yeah, Wade.
We're all feel represented by Wade, man. I'm just kidding. I feel represented by Wade.
I'm not gonna. I like the Knuckles show is like it's like whatever, right? I like some episodes. I don't like some episodes, but like I never disliked Wade because of it. I still
neither.
love
I don't
Wade.
either.
Love the
My-
Wade.
my
Wade-
thing-
He's
Wade-
the
They
best.
help the context.
My
So,
thing
like, why
always
Wade
is that it was always advertised as a Knuckles show. They never like advertised that it was gonna be like 70% Wade. So I feel
Bro,
like
this
if they
is the Wade
The
advertised-
Wade
advertised,
and Knuckles show.
yeah, if they would have advertised it, then I would have been like, okay, sure. Because I don't hate the like I like Wade also as well. His family is whatever, but him as the character is like, okay, he's cool. I like him in the stuff that he comes in. He's neat and whatnot. But it's more so for me the way they advertise it and giving false expectations and whatnot. That's always how I was about the Knuckles show.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
And also his
God.
family sucks ass, so.
Yeah, like, bro, half the fucking shows about his trauma with his dad. Like, bro, I get why it's a fucking kid show. You want to like touch that subject, but I do not care, bro.
It was false. I honestly, it was just false advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was for sure. But all in all, I think, unfortunately, Bill, it looks like I'm gonna have to go in the next 5 minutes, so I
Okay.
apologize.
Oh, that's all good.
So
Sure.
yeah,
Fuck
but
you.
it is fun. It is fun
Okay.
speaking with all you guys.
Fuck you, Bill's Water
Oh, for
World.
sure.
I know you fucking wanted to
Oh my god.
But
I'm so
but I,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go.
Oh no, I was gonna say I'm still thinking about the live and learn scene.
Yes, yes, yeah. Good. I wish Live and Learn was longer, and I wish it was the original, in my opinion.
No,
I didn't mind it, but I wanted the original Crush 40. I feel like that would have been really cool, and it would have been like a really good love letter for like us growing up with Sonic 2, where it's like, here you go have fun, especially with that gun robot sequence, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
Man,
the thing.
I thought,
I was curious on how they
yeah,
were gonna handle that, and
Yeah, because
it
like
was
obviously there's
insane.
you have forced them to fight together.
yeah.
Yeah, but the way they fought, dude, that was
That was
also
sick.
It
like
was so
DBZ
peak.
levels of like,
Mm,
oh, dude, they're popping off.
No,
Did
no,
the
what
chaos
one
spear?
Like Shadow
god.
bust out the Chaos Spears.
The
Chaos Spears,
the
bro.
Yo,
That was
that
the
Chaos
pose,
final
Spears was
flash.
crazy. I was like, oh my god.
dude, the pose that
Chaos
they did
Spear.
after they defeat all the
Yeah,
robots.
that was
God,
insane.
Yo, I
That was
was going
insane.
crazy.
I didn't
I was going
expect them to pull off
insane.
Chaos Spear. That was awesome.
This is
Fifty
this
thousand
is my
children have
last.
that as their wallpaper on their phones.
Yeah, for sure. This is my
dude,
last theory before I head out, and I think it'll probably lead to really some good discussions. I wish the second post credit was actually like an introduction to Team Dark, because the fact that we had the gun robots show up towards the final act, it would
They're
have
like
been cool to
Omega.
see if like one of them ends up being constructed into Omega. Because Omega is not run by Flicky energy, which is also something we don't have in the Sonic movies, or the
Yeah, we don't have
Flickies, which would
flickies.
be cool
Yeah.
to see as like a reference like the Chows.
Yeah,
But I wish that would have been the second post credit, and that would have definitely paved the way for what Sonic movie 4 and onwards would have been like.
yeah, that is true.
Mm.
The thing is though,
yeah.
I just don't know how you can properly introduce Omega and or Rouge. Like at this point, I'm not entirely sure how you can fit. I like Omega, you can fit in easily. Rouge is
I think
Mhm.
it's more difficult.
I think you can make like
Rouge is looking for the Chaos Emeralds.
if they ever do adapt SA1, I think you can fit Omega in place of Gamma, which would be mean. But you know, if you want to get Omega in over Gamma, I think you could fit him in there and make it still like work. And when it comes to Rouge, this is my one theory about that fucking random gun lady, the commander, whatever the
Kristen
fuck she
Ritter
was.
character, yeah.
They left her so like her ending was so vague
Yeah,
that was like
if-
they can absolutely still make that Rouge with like a face changer or something. Be like, yeah, she was just like
you just gotta-
She was using a hologram just like Tails.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard theories that like
Or the one that Tails made.
people thought that they were doing that in particular, and then it was just Rude all along. Which I guess in one way that could be a way they can go about it. But other than that, I don't know how else you could possibly. I know you can throw her in any scenario. She just randomly was thrown in an SA2, for example, and that's how she was introduced. But like for this particular instance, like I don't know how they would go about introducing her if they were to introduce her.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for letting me be here. I hate to be like the party pooper and dip out early,
It's all
but
good, Manuel.
it was great. It was nice meeting all of you guys. It was nice talking to you, Silver. It's always a pleasure, and Bills as
Yes,
well. Everybody,
always.
No problem at all.
man, hope you
See you
guys
later,
enjoy.
man.
All right.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Everybody, bye,
Yeah.
chat. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Also, by the way, who's ready for Sonic who's ready for Sonic and Amy's role to be reversed and Sonic be the one that
Son Amy.
It's Sonic.
I'm getting
They are
Son
definitely going to
Amy.
ship it. They're putting them together.
They are absolutely. Here's the thing: they are absolutely gonna make Sonic be the one that fawns over Amy instead of the other way around, like it was normally.
She's going to be the cool, badass girl. She's like, wow.
And the reason I say it is because Tom exists, and you know damn well they're gonna have a scene where Tom and Sonic talk about girls.
No,
Yeah.
I'm really thinking about it. I
Yup.
just imagine Sonic talking to Tom and then Amy just talking to Maddie about it. Like, oh no.
Yes,
That'd
that'd
be
be such
so
a good
cute.
scene. Yeah, that'd be such a great scene.
Like they are absolutely, because the way they portrayed and introducing Amy, like it definitely feels like it's not going to be initially like they could make it to be like, okay, she still admires him, but like I feel like they probably aren't gonna go that route necessarily. But I think towards the end, it's like, oh shit, I really like this guy. Hold up, wait a minute, he's kind of wrong.
No. Oh.
Oh, I
No,
felt with him heavy. What the fuck?
Here's a question. Do we know if Amy lives in a human world? in the movie.
That's the question I had because I had watched the movie with my brother.
Because where did she come from?
Yeah, where did she come from?
Yeah, so because we know Amy in Adventure, she lives in Station Square, and New York, it is kind of similar to Station Square. I guess my question is like, is she from the other world or is she from Earth or what happened? You know, because normally with if we're going by post credits, Tails came from the ring, Shadow was from aliens or was from comets.
Well,
But
considering she
Amy
started in
is still
CD,
questionable.
it's probably
Knuckles'
just gonna
family
be,
died.
It's probably
probably
just
used the
got
ring as well.
teleported. Yeah, it's probably just a matter
Maybe
of
maybe
teleported.
some Tails type beat. I don't know.
Maybe.
I assume it'll be like Tails, yeah. But I'm wondering how she knows and like why she like protects Sonic like immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to know that too.
What's funny? I have another theory. I have a lot of theories. One of my theory was it'll probably be like Kung Fu Panda 3 routes where they found another because there's another hedgehog, so it's like, oh, there's another people like me or so, and
This year I was gonna say like Long Claw talks about it, right? How there's like no hedgehogs.
yeah. So what
true.
me and my friend Ray were theorizing about is like they can probably talk more about the other world because we don't know much about the other world. Like all we know is that Sonic has a secret power. Sonic has a power that they want. And also, they could talk about it with Knuckles or so, but like, it's not really discussed that much within the 3 movies.
Yeah, no, they barely even touch upon like the tribe wanting Sonic's powers. And, what the fuck did they even want it for?
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's mainly from Echidnas too.
Well, wasn't that the Echidna tribe? And it's just like, well, what we know from Knuckles, y'all don't need Sonic's power. What do you need specifically Sonic's for? Y'all's are just as good, if not better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Someone this is why I still think they might adapt SA1 because there's so many questions surrounding the Echidna tribe, and SA1 is the big fucking oh yeah, the Echidnas are fucking stupid as shit, dude. So like I still feel like
it's
that needs a place.
It's weird.
They should have did that with Knuckles show though.
Yeah,
they should have though. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's weird because you say that, but Pachamac was in the show, which he was more of a comedic character than more of a serious when he was involved in the lore for Echidnas.
No, so they just the Iblis just linked to them. Like, okay, sure.
That shit was so crazy.
Like the flame disaster is just a thing now. Like, okay, cool.
God. Which I got also say I wish Knuckle had more screen time for the movie. It felt like he didn't have that much.
He didn't,
Unreal.
but the stuff that he did, he was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was. I've still been debating on if I really liked Tails and Knuckles as like parts in the movie because I love them in the movie, right? I think they do all the right things. I think they're characterized perfectly. I think when they fit them into action segments, like they're awesome. But at the same time, yeah, it's like a thing where I'm like, I think I did want more out of them, but I think that's a want thing because it's like when I'm looking at it as like a movie, I'm like, no, I think they fit them in there like really well and like
they played their role,
adequate screen time. Yeah, like I think they played their roles perfectly. But like as a fan, I was like, I wish I could see them a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's like they played the role how they were played in SA2. So
yeah, literally.
Which I will say, I do also love Tails because I feel like Tails was like the MVP.
Tails was better in this movie than was
so
even Sonic
cute.
2.
Yeah.
Tails,
Yo, honestly,
Tails
yeah. For
He was
real.
more of like
great.
the brain character.
Yeah.
He was so cute. I love my baby.
Yeah, I think his model was like even cuter in this movie than he was.
Yes, I love how Stone was like, I do need to say something to you. I think you are adorable. I was like, yes, yes. He's so cute.
He's so valid.
He's so cute.
And I do like the fact that Tails reiterates that, like, because Stone asked him, was like, oh, is you like, is your like, are you like Sonic's assistant or whatever? And like Tails like, oh no, we're just really good friends.
We're friends.
He means a lot to me and stuff like that. And then Stone's like, oh.
No, you could tell Stone was about to cry.
Stone was going through it this fucking movie, dog.
Oh no, I felt bad for Stone, dog. Especially after Eggman just basically breaking up with him. I'm like, no.
I really felt for him when they were in that VR world.
They're
he had
gay.
To coffee. I was like, oh.
They're gay.
Like, I was wondering how.
So
I was like, where the fuck was that Christmas scene from? I was like, oh, they were just in virtual reality.
That's
okay.
Yeah, I was trying to get lost. I was
They
like,
were like, how many times has passed?
Yeah, I was like, they did this is like a week, maybe two. With like, oh no, they're in VR. Okay, that makes
10
more
fucking
sense.
minutes.
That makes way more sense actually.
Speaking of Gerald, I gotta say this.
Yeah, okay.
His
We
death-
did not talk about Gerald. Let's have the Gerald talk.
Oh
Dude,
my
okay, but his
god,
death was the funniest
fine.
fucking
His
thing
death
ever. I
was so
cannot.
funny, dog.
It was so random, but that shit was hilarious.
Nah, fuck Gerald.
Dog, no, it was because it like at first it sounded dramatic, then all you hear is zoop, like
Zip.
Bro literally fucking shat his pants as he died. I love it. I mean, I think it fits because like I get some people might criticize it because it's like very serious villain has a very comedic end, but at that
I
point
think
he
it
literally
kind
turned
of
into a
fit.
like comically evil.
I
villain.
think it kind of fit the way he was acting in general, though. Like, yeah,
Yep,
he was
exactly.
like manipulating and whatnot, but like he was still having like these comedic ass fucking moments as well. So, like, it kind of
Yep.
fits in a way. And also, it's like, okay, now Gerald is now finally dead. Like, okay, where he actually should be.
Yeah.
But I know some people are gonna have like issues with that.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, Gerald. Oh god. Bro, the fucking the one
Like-
thing that made me go, all right, this is way too much was the fucking laser scene.
Don't say the dance scene because I actually enjoyed it. Even
It is the
I-
dance
What?
scene.
Even-
It
You
is
enjoyed that shit?
it is the dance scene.
I
And I know
will
people.
say
I know people are gonna enjoy it.
it was unneeded, but I enjoyed it.
There are gonna be
enjoyed it.
people
I
enjoying
enjoyed
it.
It
I
was-
did not enjoy it.
For me, I think it was funny. I think it was funny.
What, the dance scene?
Yeah, the dancing. I thought it was
Yeah,
funny.
I
You
love
was
the
fun.
dance
You made
scene.
fun. I didn't
That shit
enjoy it.
had
Love the
me
dancing.
fucked up. I was like, I don't care. I want the serious shit.
I think
oh my god,
the
this is
problem-
amazing.
the problem with me-
the
The problem with me
No,
was
bro.
if it was not let up with Gerald already taking up a decent amount of time before that, it would have been like, okay, cool. Then like this is neat. And I think on a surface level, I think it is just a neat little scene as well. But like it goes on for like 3 fucking minutes.
So stupid, bro.
I will-
I'm like,
I will
bro.
Say,
Yeah,
I will
yeah.
say some of my favorite moments. I don't know if this is a unpopular opinion, but some of my favorite moments is when they usually break the fourth wall.
Oh no, that
okay, that
was
scene
funny.
was
when they
good.
were like-
I
that
like that
part was
scene
funny.
too.
It's like
That
we're
scene was good.
No.
same actor in this.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
that
know
was
Yeah,
that.
no,
good.
that was good. That was good.
The Green Lantern jokes. I was surprised. Like, oh my god, they're
The
going
Green
there
Lantern
now.
joke was awesome. Yeah, I didn't like the meta break. It felt like I knew that joke was coming a mile away, and it felt like they took so long. I was like, I know, please move on.
Like you could tell that was like something Jim Carrey pitched.
Yeah,
can tell.
like
For sure,
that's
for
the
sure.
Yeah,
thing.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's the thing. It's like that's the thing. I feel like that's also probably the price of bringing Jim Carrey back as well. So like, I at the same time, I can't get mad at that if that was to get him back because having Eggman there is necessary. So like, I do understand that and they just allowed him to just go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
How much did they pay Jim Carrey for this
They
movie?
paid him a lot.
They paid him a
lot.
lot.
Yeah.
He was the
Hey.
most paid one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was
there was
told
a
that he was
talking
paid in
point about it.
gold. Yeah, I was told that he was being paid in gold. So I'm like, damn, well, it had to be
Something
a
like
lot.
that. Yeah, it was a lot. I don't remember exact amount, but like they I think besides Keanu, he was like the most paid.
Which I will say, like, because it's a weird thing for me at least, it's a weird thing to think about because Eggman plays a very big role in the whole Sonic franchise. So kill off Eggman.
Of course.
I'm like, how can they go like? Obviously, you got other villains, so you got other villains. Stop it. But like, how can you do stories without Eggman? Besides the obvious one, like Heroes.
That's why I think this series is like it is gonna be capped at some point with how many movies they can do because like obviously like we're gonna have more consequences in these movies than like in the games, right? Like with Eggman dying. And so what is it? That's why I feel like they have to do like the villains that really can work on their own, like Metal Sonic because Neo Metal and what is it? And like Chaos because I mean at the end of the day he's just looking for like the Chaos Emeralds to eat them. So like I feel like he can have like you can rework him to work on his own.
And that's how we bring in Infinite.
Yeah!
Shut the
Yeah!
fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I would
Yes,
I would
you
rather
did.
Mephiles before I would
Joe.
rather
Stop.
Mephiles before I ever won Infinite back in my life.
Absolutely not.
Okay, Joe.
Mikey!
Here's a question for you, Bills. Would you rather have Infinite or the Deadly Six?
Infinite.
And there's your
infinite,
compromise.
Infinite. I'll have
Infinite.
infinite.
There
You
you
know
go.
what? No, I'm Infinite. Never mind.
Yeah,
you
fuck
see-
that.
There you go.
you see the vision.
Maybe you're onto something.
You see the vision, dog.
Bro, listen, this movie was crazy. It's 6 post-credit scenes and they were all very deadly.
Bye. Literally bye.
Yeah. Now there will be a point where Sonic goes back to this world. That could be a thing in 4, but I feel like that might be safe for like 5, maybe. But that's also a possibility in 4.
Like because because here's the thing, right? We keep making theories that Sonic's gonna go back to this world, Sonic's gonna go back to this world, but usually the movies are like, yeah, they're staying in the world, so it's like, why would they go back to the world?
I don't know, just because they've
So
never
that's
been to fucking Green Hill. They showed one scene in the fucking promotional fucking trailer that never actually happened.
This is what I'll say, right? It's very obvious that the people making this movie are listen heavily to what's said online and even take from our theories and ideas, right? And so I think the most conversation around them going back to their world was during this movie's hype cycle. And so I could definitely see them taking from that at some point, like with Sonic 4 or 5, with them going back. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the reason why they'll do it or anything. Like, I felt like it could be like Goku after the Cell Saga situation after this movie. If Tom had like died, and they would have been like, oh, well, obviously we're bringing too much trouble to this world. Let's go home or something, right? But what is it?
Which could be what Chaos causes them to do with that. The
That
fucking
could be a
city.
big one.
City,
Yeah.
the city gets the town gets fucking flooded or whatever city.
And then
they're also
And then the government
they're
blames
also
Sonic.
Yeah.
yeah, and they're like, you gotta go, and they're like, well, I guess we gotta go back to our world now.
Yeah, they could
Some
be
Sonic
like a
X type
crossroads, yeah.
beat. Sonic X type beat. As Zaki
Well, if you wanna
is
go-
saying.
If you want to go to the Sonic X route, it could be something like, oh, well, let's scatter the Chaos Emeralds across the galaxy and let's go to different worlds.
Which, by
and
the way,
every world has like a new Sonic character.
By the way, speaking of the Chaos Emerald, where the
They eat those
fuck
things,
where the fuck is the Master Emerald now? They just don't acknowledge it after they.
I think the way it works is that the hedgehogs just keep
Absorb
the emeralds
them?
inside of them, and then once they're done with it, it turns back into the Master Emerald.
But I'm saying we never
Well,
see them having the Master Emerald.
Hold on. You
Yeah, I
say
know,
that.
like it's so weird.
I mean, you say that, but wasn't Knuckles the one that turned it back into the
So that
Master
was the
Emerald?
thing. The Master Emerald was in shards in the second movie, and then he brought it back. And then I guess apparently, like once he brought the Master Emerald back, the Chaos Emeralds were just back inside of it.
Question mark?
So that's what I'm saying. I think like Sonic and like the Hedgehogs they just keep the emeralds inside of them because that's why the dap up happens.
Which is why
'Cause, like-
I've always never liked the fact that the Chaos Emeralds are in the Master Emerald. Like, I understand why they do it, but
Mhm.
like I never cared for that detail.
It's a little it's a little confusing because they show them separate in the second movie like the Dragon
They're
Balls.
also very small.
Wow.
They're also they're so small.
They're tiny.
That's why they gave Shadow the power to teleport in this movie over him doing it with a Chaos Emerald.
Yeah, because
He also flew. He was flying.
Yeah, but that's the hover shoot thing, which that's like
That's
he
fine.
can normally do that, right?
They
But it's like he
don't
can't
allow it in
can't
the
like
game.
He
normally
did it
teleport.
once.
They
He
did it once in the
once.
whole fucking franchise.
He did it a total.
they don't allow you in the game, which is weird.
Yeah, I don't know why they've never allowed that. I mean, technically, Dream Team lets you, from what I saw, with Shadow's fucking moveset in that game. But
Forgot
yeah,
that
it's
game.
like 2 times.
That game existed.
Yeah, I know. I forgot, and I saw a random video of it, and they were talking about it, and they were like, "I can't believe they finally let you use the hover shoes."
Tails have not yet found out how to make a fake Emerald in this movie. Well, I mean, there really wasn't any need because they didn't need the Chaos Emerald to do the Eclipse Cannon.
Yeah,
And the,
like
they
the
needed
Shadow's
a
powers
fucking,
are enough.
They needed a key card and fucking Shadow and Chaos power. It's like, okay, sure. Which again, the arc doesn't exist. Which again, I
I
understand.
would say very
because-
interesting. We have no arc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah,
understand, but like, yeah.
I was so confused when I watched the trailers because I thought the little shuttle that came out of fucking whatchamacallit came out of like the Britain or whatever the fuck it's called. I thought that was like the shuttle from Egypt, and I thought that was how like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles would get to the Ark, because I thought the Ark was like a different thing. But then everyone's like, no, you're stupid. That's the Ark, bro. And I was like, it's so small. It's so tiny.
The
But
Eclipse
no, it's
Cannon
not
is
the arc.
dark.
It's just the cannon. It's
Yep,
just
it's
as
just
the cannon. And inside is just one big room.
Mm.
And shit, bro. I mean, it's a good room. It's a nice room.
If you have the arc, you need to explain to him, which is also true, actually.
Yeah, which again, I guess in that point you also may incorporate some stuff on Adventure 2, but I mean, what can you do? You know, they rate because if you think about it, they rate sell some of the arc stuff, or some of the stuff they adapted, which most importantly is the when Sonic is confronting Shadow, which I'm not gonna lie, I already saw it from miles away that Sonic was going to reference Long Claw, like losing a Long Claw compared to Shadow losing Maria.
Yeah.
So, you know, I understand why people say, oh, they need Amy for this, but I mean, Sonic could always do it with how he had to go through.
Yeah, exactly. They're with this portrayal is different enough to where they can find similarities between these two characters.
Yeah.
Because in SA2, Sonic and Shadow aren't very similar, like character wise.
Yeah.
Like here it's like
the,
way
the
easier
most,
to write it.
the most they're similar is like by their appearance wise, but that's all.
Yeah, everything else is like completely different. But here, they're both different enough to their game counterpart. Where, like, yeah, you can find like natural similarities in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did Shadow ever state that he was the ultimate life form?
No.
No, they
I
stated
don't
it. They
think
said
so.
it.
Did they? I gotta rewatch.
I
didn't
I'm
catch
pretty
that
sure
line
my-
because-
I don't
Oh,
remember.
see, I have to rewatch it.
When
I'm
they
pretty sure
reveal
Joe-
him from the comet, in the Chow Garden.
Okay, yeah,
The general calls
they,
it the
they
ultimate
might
life form.
have.
Oh,
you're
okay,
right.
yeah.
Which again, they said he crash landed in fucking Oklahoma. It's like,
Which
okay.
I do want to say, General Walter dying was not on my list.
That was
Yeah,
so
I didn't
weird.
think. we
Yeah,
would
I was
get,
just like, oh, well, okay, here he is. He's
Okay.
dead. Whatever.
Oh yeah, he died. Dead as
fucking
hell.
Look,
fucking
he-
Olive Garden man is dead. This is
We
crazy.
never
This
get to
most
ever
tragic
see him
death.
in the Olive Garden.
Yeah, like literally, we saw him in the fucking Chow Garden, bro. Go to Olive Garden. No.
No, I think what's crazy is dying at the Chow Garden. You could have died anywhere else, but you have to die at
Bro,
the Chow
died at
Garden.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Right?
He's gonna haunt one of the Chow costumes.
This is crazy.
Wait, you're right. Five Nights at Chow.
Oh my god. Oh man.
God.
Speaking of, I was caught off guard by Japanese Jackson 5.
I know.
Bro, I
So cute.
forgot that happened.
Thank God, but it was kind of peak. I fucked with it.
No,
Oh,
it's
hold
peak,
on,
was
what
peak.
the-
I was jamming out.
I forgot that happened. because it happens while he's explaining like Shadow's backstory and somewhat Maria.
Oh,
and
baby,
then it's like
give me one more chance.
and then it was like, okay,
Hold
Japanese
on.
Jackson 5. Like, oh, okay.
Hold
Well,
on, turn it up.
That's what
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
saying,
no.
bro.
Turn
They
it
were
up.
cooking.
yeah, that was crazy. Although I like in the beginning of when they're doing the race and then it like before they find out that it's like a hologram of Tails and Knuckles, that when Sonic goes past the ring, it does the little stage result music. I thought that was a neat little thing.
Oh my
that they did.
God, I was
No,
going
no,
crazy.
I heard
bro.
that. I'm like, oh my god, that's a reference. That's a reference. Like, damn.
Bro, to the Leonardo DiCaprio point.
Yeah, that was neat.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
That was the first one.
You could tell. I will say you could tell this movie was a very love letter to SA2. With
Yeah,
all the
and
references
with
they
as
did.
much as they could. Like again, weird choices, but like they did what they could.
Which is
Yeah.
which is
Also,
funny
we didn't
because
we didn't even talk about how they opened. They opened with the prison scene, which I kind of
Oh,
figured was
God.
gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
When I thought it was being shown in the trailer, I was like, yeah, they're gonna open with the prison scene. They opened it. I was like, okay, cool.
That
I
was so
think
fucking
and
sick.
and you know I was right because I literally said it's going to be like the Tai Lung escape where he gets out of his case and you know beat up
Oh, beats up
people
all
and
those
then
motherfuckers, yeah.
yeah and then
Yeah.
escape
No,
to
but that was
prison.
peak though. Motherfucker went off.
I feel like that was a perfect ref.
I
Like, that
think
was a perfect.
I think for
opening.
me it would have been way more fucking hype if they didn't show like half of that fucking shit in the trailer.
No, they showed almost most of it.
Yeah,
They
like,
showed the whole movie
like
in the
all of
trailer,
it.
dog.
It's funny too because
The,
people
the,
like,
the entire first act is pretty much in the fucking trailer.
yeah, no,
Yep.
it's crazy because people before were like, we need Sonic trailer, and when they show it,
Yeah,
no
they
more,
showed the-
we're getting
they-
spoiled.
They showed like the first half of the fucking movie.
Basically,
the first act.
all of it.
Yeah, which is exactly why people are like, you see like one or maybe the trailer, and then you're done with that.
Yeah, I get why people want to avoid trailers and more nowadays because
Yeah.
like they love showing
because
all
that
the movie.
because the people who avoided those trailers are gonna be way more hype than us that like thought. Because I thought I was still hyped for it. It was still fun, and I really enjoyed it. It would have been much better if I didn't see like 90% of it in the trailers, though.
And that's why I only watch one trailer.
True.
Yeah.
Valid.
Um.
To use the trailer culture.
Yeah. So we talked about Cause I'm trying to think of other stuff because we're starting to get to the point of wrapping up soon. Because I'm trying to think of other stuff. But we talked about how what they call it, Keanu and Idris wanting something. I know we talked about the possibility of it being maybe Shadow and Knuckles. I don't think that would be the case because it seems like Shadow crash landed on like something, which I know
Yeah.
one possibility is that he crash landed on his fucking home planet, aka, which is why I think they'll probably introduce Doom that way. But like going off, but pushing that aside, like if they were to do Knuckles again, like I don't know what they could do.
I feel like
maybe
for me-
Rouge, but like I don't know what they could do if they do another Knuckles show.
For me, I'm gonna be real. I'm kind of scared with how they handle it now because at first, when the Knuckles show got announced, we all thought, oh, it was really going to be Knuckles, the intentional Waiting Whipple show. So, I mean, for my view at least, I'm scared of how are they going to do this now? If because last time they said it will be a Knuckles show, we all know where that happened or where that went to.
To be fair, I think to go back to the whole like they're really listening. I think they definitely took note of like we did not like that Wade was like the focus of the Knuckles show, and that we want like if it's a show we want to focus on the character of interest, and so it's like if they do end up doing another show, even if it's a Knuckles season 2, I think I wouldn't worry about them conflating it with like humans. I think I would just be more worried about the material they're adapting.
Yeah. But I will say, if they were to do a Shadow movie, which I still don't think is 100% going to happen, I feel like that'd be a perfect time to introduce Rouge and Omega, former Team Dark, because how I would imagine it is, Shadow have an amnesia, but he'll probably meet Rouge and maybe Omega.
Maybe.
And then, it could be a whole Team Dark versus Black Doom.
Yeah, I was just saying, I can see where you're coming from, right? Because like every Sonic project introduces like about like two important characters, right?
Yeah,
Sonic 1, of course, was just Sonic. Sonic 2 was Tails and Knuckles, and Sonic 3 was Gerald and Shadow. And so if they're going to do like a Shadow 05 like movie, like we're thinking, I would see like, of course, they'd introduce like the Black Arms and Black Doom for the invasion, but yeah, there should be like a new character that's on Shadow's side, and that could definitely be Rouge because she would have more intel than him. Should have know more about his homeworld than he does because she has like those like spy traits. So it's like yeah, I could see that.
Which again could be a good way for them to realize that we did nothing with Kristen Ritter, but because we left it so, especially because they left it so open, and then they can go, oh hey, by the way, it was just her disguising herself as a human and whatnot.
No, I literally think it could be her disguising as a human because, I mean, I know it was just a device that Tails made, but like they are capable of making humans into a character like Sonic.
Yep. And bro, they made Tom into Ozzy.
No. I want to say my favorite part from the movie was the puppet Tom.
Puppet.
Dog,
you were in so much trouble.
It was so much trouble.
Although apparently there's a thing where people notice like they were looking at like specifically like any kind of shirt like Maddie was wearing, like whatever color shirt she was wearing, spoiled like who was gonna show up in post credits. Like
Wait, she wore pink in this movie.
yeah,
She
and
wore.
apparently
yeah,
she wore
she
yellow.
did wear
apparently
pink in
she
this
wore apparently
movie.
she wore yellow. I think maybe in one.
Did she?
Maybe I don't know.
And she wore.
Yep.
And
she wore like black by
and then
one
she
point.
wore black in two.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's actually really funny.
So
if you think
apparently,
about
Wait,
it.
they should
apparently
do
that's like a thing. Like either I don't know if that's like a coincidence that they do, or if that's something they're like actually doing, and now people
They
are
do-
picking up
I
on
think
it.
it's coincidence.
They
And
do
then
give
in the
Maggie
next
a lot of
movie-
fits. Because of what
in
in
the
this
next
in this movie she's there for like 5 or 6 scenes, and she goes through like 7 different outfits.
Then the next movie she'll wear white.
That's what I'm
Hmm.
saying, bro. No, bro.
I hate
It's like
it
5,
here.
but she's gonna wear just an.
If she
infinite
wears
shirt.
white, it's gonna be
No,
crazy.
trust me on this. She's going to wear a shirt where it has 6 stripes, 1 red,
Oh
1
my
purple, 1 yellow. Oh, we're gonna get the deadly 6.
She's gonna wear purple, and it's gonna be not Blaze, it's gonna be Big the cat.
Yes, sir.
Oh my.
I can't wait for one day at that big. Because I
I'm
do want
shocked
that.
they
They're gonna
still
do it.
haven't adopted a fat ass cat named it Big. I'm
Dude,
shocked
I
they've
feel
never
like they're
done
100
it.
gonna do it.
Like there's a perfect opportunity to just get a cat and just name it Big.
Mm-hmm. But please, bro, please, I want him. Please, he's so cute.
What are they gonna have a random frog too? That's gonna be Froggy.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my
Sonic-
god, I'm a crush up.
Sonic gonna adopt a frog, and the dog and the
We're gonna name him
the
Froggy.
the frog and the cat.
Froggy.
I forget
Like,
I forget that family had the dog.
Big is going to see someone dressed as a frog and mistake it for Froggy.
Also,
I'm a crush up.
Also, another thing is, I guess, well, I guess technically they showed in trailers, but I kind of forgot that they did. Is that I do like that they went back to his old hideout in from the first
From
movie.
Sonic 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought
Yeah, that was a really cute
I thought that
callback.
was
I think
neat.
it was called like. I mean, it makes sense if you think about it because they're celebrating his birthday.
The Earth Day.
His
birthday.
birthday.
Which, by the way, awesome that they did the generations thing with the race and whatnot
Yeah.
to distract him from the fact that it's his
Yeah.
birthday. That
Yeah,
was so
that
cool.
was dope. That was nice. I really like that.
I thought during the race when Tails and Knuckles were like constantly catching up with them, I thought they were gonna play with that through the movie. Like, oh, Sonic is slowing down. Why is he slowing down?
Yeah, I
What's up
thought
with
they were
that?
gonna do that too.
I was so surprised that like they showed that fucking scene of Tails with the jetpack where his face is like all in the camera.
With
I'm like,
faces
And that's
all-
at the
like,
very,
a
that's at
million
the
times.
very end of the
Thought
movie.
I was cracking
Yeah,
up
it's just
too.
like-
The meme.
It's like
the
one of the
meme.
last scenes.
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
They were so cocky with how
Bro.
many scenes they showed. in
Yo,
the
but
trailers.
speaking of scene, not only did they fucking troll us with the fucking Super Shadow shit, apparently I need to go look back and see if that's actually true. Apparently they fucking showed the metal scene as well.
Yep, they did. That's what we
They
did? Last
Yes.
night, they did. In the
Wait,
second
they
trailer.
did?
Okay,
There's a shot where they hit the
No, they
moon.
didn't.
They
So,
did,
yeah,
they
no,
did.
they did.
When
Okay,
they-
so
how?
so you know where Sonic said Google Maps need to keep a track on that? That's literally the scene in the trailer.
So second trailer,
Yeah.
there's a shot of them pissing on the moon, right? And then
Yeah.
it shows Sonic in the post credit scene with his fucking hands on his waist, going, "Damn, they better update Google Maps with that."
Oh wait, you just brought,
What?
hold on. You
What?
just also
Yes.
reminded me of something. That one screenshot, that one pose that Shadow does.
Yeah, that's
They-
the Super Shadow thing or whatever.
God. I was no because like to me, I was talking to Kyle last night too. To me, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, it looked a bit weird, but I didn't question it because I'm like, okay, that's probably just a model. But look at it now,
You
I can
apparently
see.
Yeah, you can apparently
Yeah.
see still remnants of Super Shadow being edited out apparently in
Yep.
theirs.
Yeah.
I was saying,
Okay.
if you look at his face, the tinting is
stop,
completely
actually.
wrong because it's like all the lighting on his face is like cool toned. When like in the actual shot in the movie, it's all like red.
Yeah, they were fucking clever on that on these shots.
Dude, that was so sick. I can't believe they pulled a Marvel.
They're gonna make people psychoanalyze the next movie trailer.
Oh, for sure. Nobody's ever gonna feel like
Yeah,
like
it's
yeah. Everybody's gonna
Uh-huh.
be like, oh.
let's see this 136.
Oh, you send it. Let me see.
Yeah, I sent it.
Oh my god, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Oh my God. I just saw it right now.
Yeah, they.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, they
Shit
did.
is so
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Like
I love how
I thought
BattleKid and I had the same reaction.
no, because like at first I thought, oh, he's probably going to see the news, the announcement shit. So I'm like, okay, he's probably going to see that, but no, that was for the post credit. Like, damn.
Wow.
Those silly beans.
Yeah, no, they were being really fucking clever with these trailers. And that's why everybody is doing winky faces on Twitter, just showing that specific shot.
They're like, "Tee."
Yeah, everyone's with his stupid face, like smile, 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 smile.
Yeah, no.
God.
I've tried to think what else is there because we pretty much covered. There's probably something there that, again, like it is weird that
I'll be
that
honest.
they chose BioLizard as like a funny like kaiju like fucking reference. Like,
I love that.
I'll be honest.
it was-
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they didn't do the whole Knuckles ghost thing.
Oh,
they did
with
a little funny
They
reference.
kind of did. They
Yeah,
kind
I
of.
mean,
They
yeah, they
kinda-
kind of
yeah.
did. In a way, they kind of did. But it was more like a reference.
Yeah, it's like a reference to like King Boom Boo.
I thought King Boom Boom
When
was gonna randomly
that scene
show up.
when that scene when Shadow decided to be
be
a
fucking a fucking
terrifying-
horror villain. He started to be a horror villain.
boo.
What was he on, bro? What was his
He-
problem?
Like when he was
He-
behind
Oh,
when he was behind Stone and Tails, just play the Prowler theme with the Goku image.
Dude, what was his problem? Like there was no reason.
he was
to
just
go up
having
and
he was
boo.
just having fun. Is what he
Like
was doing.
literally.
My man was like, it is my time to shine. I'm gonna have fun with this.
But he got close and
so
personal
bad.
with Sonic.
Exactly. Oh man, that was funny.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Like it's like I said, it's like whenever they get the references, it's always a hit.
Mhm.
Even with the jokes. Like I don't think there was like besides probably one or two that I feel like it was okay. You know, most of them it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see.
Also, why did Gerald want to use the Eclipse cannon when he literally has a mini black hole bomb?
Yeah.
Let's just make that on a bigger scale.
You just Shadow can just make black holes.
Like, what's up with that?
It's never mentioned again.
Hmm.
Like,
Let's just do
I
that on
mean,
a bigger scale if you want to destroy the Earth.
It's
like
true.
it just happened and then it never talked about again. It's like, okay, you can just make black holes, but why?
No, because here's how they counter, okay? Big ring, and then they
Oh
just
my
Oh my god.
And then suddenly that's how we get everyone to go to Sonic's World.
Exactly. Also, I will say I love how the moon is destroyed in the post-credit scene because I
Yeah.
I didn't see it like after they didn't show it until Amy showed up and like I was like, oh shit,
Also,
we really are getting the moon being destroyed.
Yeah, that's
also, okay, this isn't anything new, but I do want to hear what do you guys think about the ending music of the movie?
Run it.
Yeah, run it.
Right.
don't
Oh,
hate
what are you
it.
talking about? I hate it too.
I
I don't like that song.
I don't hate it, but I ain't putting it on any playlist.
I fucking
Bye, BattleKid.
I know Jelly Roll is from Nashville and someone who has close family in Tennessee. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I do not like that fucking man. I do not like his
No.
music. I do not like Run It. And I was like, I figured it was gonna be the credit music. So I was like, whatever. Like
I was
fine.
glad it wasn't in the movie itself. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be in the beginning. I was like, oh god, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
okay.
It's just funny because
I
he
thought
did
it'd be
it
in the
too.
beginning. So like for it to not be there, I felt like maybe it was like a really edit where it's just like another song, but then because people hate the song.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I'm glad that wasn't. I'm glad
Yeah.
that wasn't directly in the movie because I
It's,
did not
it's
like that
more
song.
about. I think it's okay, but it's like the weakest for me.
Yeah, the weakest out like the 3 end credit
Yeah,
songs.
which is very funny because the first one had. Did it have Yachty? I don't remember, man. Lil
Yeah,
Yachty.
the first
Yeah,
one.
no, no.
Yachty.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
literally
yeah.
saying it. I feel like the first one is underrated a lot. People, I can see where people's coming from by saying Stars in the Sky is like the best one, but I feel like Stars in the Sky is talked about that much.
Which is very funny because the fucking unreleased Juice WRLD one is fucking slam. That fucking
No, it slams, dog.
that original version. That
Surprised
they
they didn't
made.
put it in.
They should have played Stars in the Sky again.
True. Yeah, no, Kid Cudi's one, which is very funny because then Kid Cudi went back to being again.
I know, right?
It was like, okay, you at least gave us one banger. I appreciate it. Now you can go back to being whatever.
For being fucking weird.
That's crazy.
Did we talk about that guac?
Yeah, well, we like
God.
briefly mentioned, but we didn't like go. I don't think we even know. Yeah, shout out to Hedgehog saying Revenge Guac. It's fucking
Revenge
guac.
Yeah, him watching telenovelas was something, which Eggman was doing as well. So that was the only reason Shadow. Yeah, that's I guess that's just all Eggman was watching throughout that time.
Because he was in love. He was watching love stories because he was in love.
True.
Oh,
Talking about Gabrielle, I should have come on. That was hilarious. Those were words that Keanu Reeves spoke.
Does anybody have any scores for the movie?
I
I rated a 9 out of 10.
I rated a 9 out of 10 for me.
For me, I think because I'm a little harsh on it, like if I'm rating it like a Sonic movie, it's like a fucking like a 9 out of 10. But if I'm rating it like as a movie, it's like an 8 for me.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a good old 8.5.
Yeah, like I have a hard time.
Yeah, I feel like if you're, for me personally, if for as a Sonic fan's perspective, I'd say like a 9 out of 10. But as like a general audience, I've run like an 8 because I feel like having context helps a lot.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Because if you have no idea what's going on, it's like, sure.
Yeah, it's like okay.
Yeah.
Like we're just doing this now.
Which
It's like, oh, okay, Shadow came out of a space egg. That's cool.
It's hard for people like us to not be biased, like to look at the movies like these with an unbiased perspective, because we're always gonna be biased. We're always gonna like, oh, but we did this, but we did this.
I mean, even as a bias standpoint, you still have some stuff to criticize.
It's like, yeah, they changes are weird, but like
100%.
But like these fucking last 30 minutes were the rawest thing ever. So like, can I really be mad at it?
Exact. I'm like, doesn't really matter if they just went full Dragon Ball.
That shit was so lit.
Nah, that boxing scene was crazy, bro.
Because like people were saying, oh, it's a Dragon Ball movie, it's a Dragon Ball movie. I'm like, okay, I wonder why. And then the last 30 act, damn, I can see why.
They were boxing, bro. Straight up boxing.
Dude, I like I said, I feel like the highlight for me had to be the combat. Because
for sure. Action, bro, like if the action in Sonic 2 was already like super good compared to like Sonic 1, this was even fucking better. And it was like, how did you take a peak to a peak?
Yeah, it's like it felt because they were going around the world. Keep in mind,
when they started fighting around the world, I was like, "Yo,
that was crazy."
That if I spilled on one of the 5 people that watched Dragon Ball GT in the world, that fight was literally Goku versus Android 17 or Super 17.
It was so good. It's just what I didn't like if it kept going back to Jero and Eggman.
Yes, I agree.
Right, they're fighting and
off.
That's the thing. They do a live and learn, and they're like, okay, Gerald is slapping Ivo's ass.
Here's Gerald slapping his ass.
What? Like, what are we doing?
Like, okay, like I was saying, and I told this to a friend, I was like, you showed me the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And then I'm watching fucking
Yeah.
Him slap his
dick around
own
for 20
ass.
minutes. I mean, to be fair, there are parts that are funny. His death is funny.
Yes.
The
Yes.
slapping him on the ass with the giant head was fucking hilarious.
It's funny.
but
The
it's just like-
placement was wrong. The placement was wrong.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
I did not need it there. You could have easily just let Supersonic and Shadow play out entirely, and then just cut to fucking Gerald slapping Eggman on the ass.
Yeah, like after they do all that, then sure. But like you did it like in the midst of you ramping this shit up. It's like, okay, now just ass slaps. It's like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I really hate their fucking that stupid animal fight. Oh, we have animal
That
powers now.
and nobody knows. It's
one
like
cares.
nothing.
It was like
It
the most
doesn't
nothing
reference
burger,
anything.
nobody
It
cares thing
doesn't
ever.
reference anything. They never do that ever, apparently. So it's like, okay, it's just something that they just can do.
They
Like,
barely even referenced actual actual bots from the games. Like what? Like I guess there's a praying mantis bot, right?
Yeah,
But,
I
like,
guess that's supposed to be the praying mantis, but like,
Yeah.
okay. Why do
I
you have
guess
his
there's a
tail?
scorpion.
Why do you have his tail?
I guess-
Oh, there is a scorpion.
It's Sandopolis.
Yeah, Sandopolis. I
Oh
totally
yeah, you're
forgot.
right.
Whoop-de-doo.
I'm like, okay, sure.
But God, that stone, that falling goodbye to stone, I didn't cry, but it got me a little bit.
It got me a tear up.
He's talking about, I always like your goat watching. I was like, damn.
Damn, that's how you know.
It's a real one.
And like I said, I'm surprised they were okay. Or okay, well, I mean, obviously, even kids, people can die, but I was surprised with how many people died in this movie.
Yeah, they let a lot of people die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Walter died. Shadow died and came back. Essentially,
Maria died.
yeah.
Gerald died. Tom was was teased to be dead the
No,
entire
no,
time.
no, literally, fuck the movie because I actually thought Tom was dead because they showed
I knew
the
they weren't
tent
gonna kill him off.
and
There
They
was no way.
It's
no
also
way.
the other thing.
I couldn't believe-
That punch should not have even gravely.
Yeah, I couldn't
injured
believe
him.
he died from a punch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he should have got
But
great.
it's just
Because
the
Ara
fact
made a good
that-
point. Ara made a good point in there. Like, he first of all, he got punched. Why the fuck
Yup.
is he in an arm sling afterwards?
Yup.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I was making a joke with my friend. I was like, okay, listen, this is how it works. Shadow's punches don't work like normal punches, right? They don't hit hard. But the knockback was incredible because he's the wind, right? And so like the wind threw his arm to his side and he broke it when he landed.
Like, here's the thing for me. Like, yes, it should be to the point where, like, it hurt. It really fucking hurt and he, like, fucking writhed in pain. That should not have hospitalized him.
Yeah.
I agree with that. That I agree with.
For sure.
It's like when those anime characters get like electrocuted and they just have like a band-aid on their nose or something.
Yeah, like literally, like that has nothing to do with what you just went through. Why the fuck do you have a band-aid on, bro?
Yeah, no, that
It's
was.
just.
That was
Yeah,
I knew he wasn't
again,
gonna die, though.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think he was gonna die too, but again, it's the fact that they didn't show Tom until later on. Like, okay, you just didn't have to do that.
I will say, when Tom got hurt, it peeved me off that Maddie didn't say anything to the kids. The
No,
way she
that-
just looks at them and
She
she's
does,
just
and she
like,
gave him
"What
a look."
scene?"
Which is my thing is like, why? Like, I understand why you gave him a look, but why are you giving a look? You're the one that wanted to come on this adventure because you were fucking bored and nothing was happening in the movie.
Bro,
It just
you're
happened
the
that you were
mom, you're the
bored.
That's
fucking
kinda
mom.
your fault.
You should say something.
Say something to your kids.
Like literally, help them.
Like, tell them, be okay. Technically, Maddie, you're the reason Sonic went on that fucking rant.
Their dad is
Exactly.
laid out on the floor. You're just like,
Like, I thought she was gonna tell them like, you guys have to take care of this. I'm sorry or something. Like she just looks at them. Help.
But I just know somewhere out there Rachel was celebrating.
Bro. Okay.
like Squidward where SpongeBob left.
That's actually evil. That's actually evil.
I'm glad that the way they handled Rachel and Randall, because I know some people were like very like concerned that they were in that movie. But I do like that they used them as like hologram. Like I think that was clever.
I mean, to be fair, I love Rachel and Randall. Like,
I
I
do
love their
too.
actors.
It's
and,
just
like,
the
I was like, oh,
scene
yeah,
they
they're
were
cool.
put in was
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was concerning. So it was like to see them used in like the way they were was very it was good. It was good. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't like a Randall like actor in general.
Mm.
Literally.
Shit, I'm about to pull this up. Oh, let me pull this up. Where is it?
Yeah, but yeah, like what Kai said. Like honestly, I was expecting Maddie to be emotional or something, but yeah, like it's all she did was gave like a weird stare, which I can understand a sad stare, but it's like I was expecting more sad stuff to happen, and something is kind of the first thing to happen to Tom in the movie.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think it's the first thing that really hurt Tom in like any of these movies, right?
Yeah.
He barely get hurt in the first two.
I mean, it was already implied by the trailer or something, or like he was gonna get threatened or so.
Yeah, because the Sonic.
Yeah, but like when I first saw
Yeah, I
him,
thought they
my
were gonna
mind
do it in the
fell.
gravity room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that was an interesting scene, but okay.
I get, and which I still don't get. Why did Gunn turn on Sonic? Like I get they don't trust him at their walls. Thinking they get to get the key, but I'm like,
Gun's involvement
Oh
in general
no!
was a little
Oh
weird.
no! The commander's dead, and Sonic and friends are not here. I guess we
Yeah.
can't trust him.
That is also
Yeah, like
true.
literally.
Like, did they even bother to check the cameras or anything?
And like, yeah, it's weird how they treated Gunn because like I like their initial involvement, right? With the commander coming to talk to them. The second he dies, shit goes AWOL. And I don't know if that was necessarily because they wanted to write that way or because they wanted to harken back more to SA2
Because
Gunn was against them.
Probably.
Yeah, because here's a question: is like, is Gunn like, do they still see Sonic as like not someone to be trusted?
I think
feel like
both.
I think they did something weird by not having the whole plot line of not knowing who Shadow is and being like, "Oh, that's Sonic," because he looks like him and he's like, "Yeah."
Well, because that
So now
plot
they
line
just-
was always weird to begin with, so like, it was like, okay, they're different colors, but it's like, okay.
But like all the events were happening at night, so it's hard to see.
Well,
So
it
they're
made
just gonna
sense that it was
assume.
Terios because Terios looks far more like Sonic.
Yeah. Which again, I will also mention this: the way Christian Wrighton, I don't know how to say her name. I'm sorry.
Christian
The way,
or whatever.
yeah,
Jessica
the way she showed up and disappeared without anyone acknowledging it is so weird to me because, like you were there at like the metal part and nowhere to be mentioned after it. Well, where the hell were you at?
Yeah,
I mean,
no one mentioned it.
It's weird because there's like a point at which the story totally eclipses Gunn and like they have nothing to do with it. I mean, she's the last we see of Gunn in the movie with the whole oh yeah, give me the fucking key.
Yeah, because after that, then the last like 30-40 minutes of the movie happened.
Tom tricks her and then she's just gone.
Yeah,
and then Tom gets fucking obliterated because Shadow thinks it's Commander Walters.
So it's like it's weird because it's like I appreciate them not like trying to like overconflate the movie, but also it's like we could have spent a little bit more time acknowledging what Gunn's relationship with Sonic is at the end of the movie and like understanding what Gunn's place is in this like universe moving forward. However, I do think when it comes to that whole theory about maybe they'll take the Faker aspect for Metal Sonic instead, I think that leaves in a little bit more of an interesting state because Gunn doesn't see Sonic as like help or a threat. So like if they do see something bad, they're gonna be like, oh fuck, get that guy. So I could see if we're gonna go that route, like I can forgive it a bit to be like, leave it like a little vague so that way they can still fuck up Sonic in like a later movie. Sure, why not?
So like in like Sonic 4, if some town is being destroyed and they see some blue thing zipping around, they're like, well, that has to be Sonic. And Shadow's dead, so it has to be Sonic.
Exactly. Bro, Metal Sonic's gonna rob 5 banks in the next movie.
I just come
You see-
back. That shit was mad funny, bro.
You say Banks, and that reminds me of a certain fan animation. You see, Maddie's gonna wear a cyan shirt, and we're gonna see Nazo pop up and pop up.
Dude, they're gonna make that movie on their own. Like Chaos X, he made that blueprint. And now Paramount's gonna finish it.
Right. What if we did it instead?
And that's how we'll get Terios in the next movie. And they're gonna be like, and he's gonna be like, Shadow, I am your brother.
You're so real for the hold up.
And people are gonna be like, what the fuck is this?
This isn't in topic, but I did want to bring this up. A lot of people are talking about it, so I want to hear your thoughts.
Mhm.
How do you feel if the Sonic movie and the Mario movie were to have a crossover?
It'd be a really cool sporting event.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'd be fine with it because like I love both the Mario
thing
movies
is,
and Sonic movies.
With how the way the movies are, it just doesn't work well.
I mean, it wouldn't make sense. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense at all.
And also, they're also too busy putting lame ass post credits on that other side. So.
I'm just saying the Mario movie sucks at it.
It is, but it's not just a Yoshi. It is the Yoshi.
That we saw in the movie, by the way.
Yeah, we literally saw a green Yoshi when they went
Bro,
like past Yoshi's Island or whatever.
So many people that have came after me because I called that fucking post credit lame. You talk about, but it's the Yoshi, and I'm like, okay, I don't give a fuck. It's
That's
still
not
lame.
Bro, as
not
a
literally
fucking
any of the
giant Mario
princesses.
fan, that was the worst post-credit scene I've ever seen in my entire life.
Like, I'm not saying this because I people are like, oh, but Daisy wasn't gonna be there. I didn't expect Daisy to be in the movie. Period. So like, that does nothing for me. Like, I come at this from it's just a lame ass fucking thing. Which one is like, if it's the Yoshi, it's like sure, whatever. But like, we've already seen them in the fucking movie for like,
it's like
5-10 seconds.
It doesn't show. It doesn't give us any context for what the next movie's gonna be about. There's nothing to get excited for. Like you show us, like, and I was thinking about it like this, right? Like for Mario Galaxy 2, their whole big thing is like Yoshi's on the cover now. And it's like, okay, for gameplay, that's awesome because that means Yoshi's in fucking space. Think about all the shit you can do with that. You show me Yoshi for a Mario movie, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and people try to compare it to Sonic 1 with Tails. Motherfucker, Tails is an actual character.
Tails is a whole character.
Yeah. Tails can at least speak more than one line.
Like
Yoshi is just a mount.
Here's the thing, compared to that, at least we didn't know Tails was going. Okay, obviously, yeah, Tails will probably going most likely remain in the next movie, but we didn't see him, or we didn't even know if they're even going to make a sequel. It would have been one Sonic movie is done. I mean, with Yoshi, we already saw him. 2, all they did was show an egg and the Yoshi now. And I'm like, okay, it's like more confusion than hype. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It causes more questions that are out of confusion, not for hype, like than anything. So it's like, okay. I will say this: I saw some Sonic fans on Twitter when Movie 3's reviews finally came out on Rotten Tomatoes. I saw some Sonic fans on Twitter going, "Damn, Nintendo must be pissed with Illumination right now."
They don't give a fuck about that.
Right?
They made a ass of money. They don't give a shit about that.
I was like, yeah, they cited their $1 billion movie, bro.
Who
like,
fucking whoop?
Like came out the same year as Sonic 2. It made so much more than Sonic Movie 2. They don't care.
Like literally. one movie made enough than the first 2.
Yeah,
that
like,
should
exactly,
be fair.
Yeah, like
I hope this
fucking
movie crosses
really.
$1 billion, though. I will say, I hope so.
I don't think it will, but like,
I don't think
it's gonna sell really well.
Like,
they're saying 800 mil for is like where they think it's gonna land.
How much did the second one make?
Wasn't it like 500 mil?
400, 500, something like that.
I can check it real quick. Apparently, it made 400.
Yeah, and it was like 400-ish or something like that.
Yeah, 405 million.
Which isn't too
doubling
bad.
That is fucking insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. Especially with their budget. Their budget was 122 million. which is pretty small. Like when you think about like Joker 1 was like $90 million to make. So like Sonic 3 being 122 for all of those, for all that CG, all the places they went to and shit,
Yeah,
and for it to be expected 800 million is crazy.
I mean, you also gotta take into factor that this movie still hasn't been released in like
Yeah,
in
there's
UK,
countries
in
that
Yeah.
still
Exactly.
like I have a friend that like lived like
And-
not in the US and it doesn't come out for like another couple of days.
And I said this to other people too, because Christmas is coming up. I feel like that's going to be a huge boost for this movie,
Yep.
particularly Christmas, because people are going to take their kids, or taking kids or not, they're still going to see it for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And again, having
I
other countries,
unironically might go watch on Christmas.
I feel like this movie could also get boosted in Japan mainly because its main advertisement is part of being in Japan, and also too I think Walnut also helps it
Mhm.
with some vouchers.
I will say if anything, I think unfortunately the movie might actually be hindered a bit by its release date, because while
Yeah.
right now like these first initial like 2 weeks is gonna be good because it's like December, everyone's together, they want to go do
Mhm.
something. January's
January is
dead.
nothing.
January's a horrible
January
Yeah.
is fucking dead.
because
January
nobody
like
has money.
January and like
No,
somewhat
everyone's
the
gonna be
end
broke by
February,
then.
there's like nothing.
Well, we
Yep.
broke boys at the time.
Which is
Exactly.
why
'Cause,
when
yeah,
Infinite-
everybody spent their money during Christmas.
Which is why it's kind of surprising Infinite well sold well because that shit released at the end of
Right.
January and that
Yeah,
was,
I know.
Yikes.
and it still did decent well. So yeah, it's doing well, it's reviewing well, and Disney is fucking petty about it.
Bro, don't nobody want to watch that fucking lion, bro. This got Shadow in
No,
it.
no, it's even crazier when even Transformer 1's fans wanted to be a
Bro,
flop.
if I please let Transformer 1 sell more than Mufasa, that shit would be hilarious.
No, I know. Fuck.
So
What's happening?
Hey, what's up?
what?
Wait, you were saying something.
It was a BattleKid. You said so, and then we thought you were gonna say.
Oh
something.
no. No.
You got so quiet.
But yeah, no, yeah, the Transformers 1 fans are all on Twitter like, please let Mufasa fail, please. I
Oh.
think so far I had a worse like opening than TF1.
No, it
so.
literally had. I'm pretty sure internationally it made like 2,000.
Jesus, that'd be so.
Fucking wrong.
That's actually so bad.
Hey,
That's
they,
actually so funny.
they thought they were gonna cook something with that shit. And
Hold
nobody
on,
will
actually,
watch
hold on. Let me get the data real quick. Hold on.
I'm literally looking over right now. Let me see.
Oh, what the fuck?
Transformers 1. No. Mufasa grossed another $10 million over TF1 for the opening.
So I look at Mufasa has 100K right now.
Really? Let me see.
Yeah.
Mufasa. Oh yeah, 122K. Yeah, it's all international.
Yeah. Still nothing too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like again. I think with the days coming by for the end of this month, most people are going to see it. And
For
especially
sure.
since like it's not even money wise, review wise. Yeah, review wise, it's getting more praise than Mufasa.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That
for
fa-
sure. Yeah,
that fact-
Mufasa's tanking like.
The fact that a Sonic movie, like, if you were, I saw it.
Yeah.
It's fucking tweet though. I feel like if you were to say back back in 2010, if you were to say like, oh, the Sonic movie is doing so well that their movie has like a 98 in review scores, a lot of people would laugh at you.
Mhm.
But in today's time, I feel like it's really a good time to be a Sonic fan,
Yeah,
especially with the movie.
I didn't think the movie, like when they announced that those two movies were coming out at the end, I was like, okay, well, Disney's gonna get the fucking Disney money and yada yada yada. Bro, it is. It is not getting the Disney money.
We're about to kill that lion a second time. Yes, sir.
Like it's even I'm more interested in seeing the Lilo Stitch live
Yeah, I
action.
did. Yeah, because I had this conversation. It's like, oh, this is gonna be the indication that they're gonna stop doing live action. No, it's not, because Lilo Stitch is coming out, and
They
that
still
shit
have
actually
plenty
looked
coming
good.
out.
And Moana is gonna fucking sell as well, unfortunately. So
Yeah, see, unfortunately, like they have too many movies in production, and one of them's gonna be a hit, and they're gonna take that like, oh
Just-
wait, this still works.
like, just because one fucking bomb does not mean they're gonna stop doing what they're doing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's just right now their fucking pride and ego is getting fucking hit, and it's fucking hilarious seeing them crash out.
Yep.
But no, they're gonna be fine. Like, it's fucking Disney.
Yeah, it's Disney. They're fine.
It's like saying, like, Nintendo, especially right now, it's
Yeah,
gonna
like,
be
well, like,
affected. Like, no.
They're more of a casual company.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like,
but
yeah, like when Nintendo says like Emio didn't sell like 1 million copies, they're not gonna cry, bro. Like they'll still
Yeah.
make another one
Well,
when like the time comes.
Yeah.
Fucking other companies, they do that? Nope. Cancel the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, it's like,
I'm looking at you, Square.
it's one of those, things where you're like, oh, what do you want to get to read? Most people are gonna say McDonald's because it's the well-known one. That's how I see for like Disney and even Nintendo. They're like the well-known one
Yeah.
where people will pick.
Well, for Nintendo, it depends on generation, because
I mean, yeah,
you
it
would think that for the
depends,
Wii U, but then
Yeah.
But I mean, like if you say stuff like Mario, Zelda, obviously people are gonna know who they are.
Well, that
Yeah,
was also
huge, like,
that
household
was also an anomaly, because that was at the point where, like, yeah, the Wii sold well, but it was to the point where it was aiming towards the casuals, and so like it was in a weird phase. So when they announced the Wii U, it was like, oh, okay, this is interesting.
Kind of moved away from the casual thing with the Wii U.
Like,
yeah, it did not work. Like what they were going really hard in on casuals, core audience at all, and then they did it again, and it was like, okay, well now casuals don't care because you literally don't have anyone on. But they did announce new Smash at E3 2013. So hold up.
Hold on.
I might have really want doubting.
Huh?
Never mind.
And by the time the Wii U came out, I was just like, I'd rather just have a 3DS.
I bought Wii U
Yeah.
like as soon as I could.
I bought Wii, but 3DS was like if I'm going somewhere, it's like my go-to one.
And what else are you gonna got? PS Vita?
Listen. At least the only thing they got from it was winning their lawsuit.
Listen, I wanted to play Persona and Uncharted.
Oh, you're so valid. You're so valid.
I think I only owned a PSP at the time. Which, unfortunately, the only game I had was God of War, which is also sad.
And that game was good, but yeah, I get you, because that was Ascension, right?
Well, I mean, it was good. It's just when I said it, people were like, "Oh, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry." I'm like, why? Why?
Yeah, people don't like God of War Ascension. I don't know why.
Yeah. Is there any final thing that might have missed? I feel like we covered a lot of things. There's probably like maybe a few things we might have missed, but I don't think I can really think of anything. I think we talked the main talking point.
Hey, did we power scale this little blue rat? Because wow, he is a lot stronger than Game Sonic.
No, I feel like it hit me when he took a hit on Metal Sonic. I'm like, damn, how strong is he to send him that far?
Dude, he's fucking.
Is Game, Sonic, and Shadow strong enough to make the entirety of Tokyo's power go out when they clash?
Yeah, I don't think so,
Yeah,
bro.
It's funny to think about because I know he was still younger at the time, but I compare like movie one when he was punching that bald guy to him literally being up Shadow. I'm like, damn, these are really the same characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's insane.
The power scaling for this fucker's like insane. Well, like to be fair, I don't think they're really thinking about the power scaling. To be honest, I think they're just thinking about what looks cool. And they're gonna be like, well, yeah, these guys are like similar in power, blah blah.
It's gonna be like it just happens kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It just
Yeah.
happens.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I'll say this. I think like Game Sonic and Game Shadow could absolutely like make a city go out of its like electricity if they wanted to. But I think because they have like more control over their power, like that wouldn't happen, right?
I
But, like these two
Also,
seem
at
more
the time
inexperienced.
when FA2 came out, like there was probably, I mean, they probably could have made a scene where they made the power go up, but like I don't think they were thinking that far ahead.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I don't think like they really
Cause that was
gave a
like
fuck about that.
their fucking
Yeah.
second 3D game. If you want to
Yeah.
fucking count 3D last, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
Bro, who wouldn't count 3D Blast? Hold up.
Oh, okay, man. Okay.
What about Sonic
Uh,
R? It's right there.
Oh no, you're actually spinning. You're actually spinning
right.
peak.
Damn, it is the fourth 3D game. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, Sonic the Fighters, technically.
Fuck, it's fine.
I mean, Sonic
It,
Jam.
it wouldn't.
Oh
shut
my-
the fuck up. I'm not counting Sonic Jam. Next,
Bro,
you're
don't
gonna,
count
next you're
Sonic
gonna count
Extreme.
Sonic. Next, you're gonna count Sonic Extreme. Fuck you.
Listen, if you want to be technical, Sonic 2 Special Stage.
Oh my god.
Fuck
okay.
off.
Okay.
Fuck off.
Listen, it's 3D if you really want to count it. No.
Was Sonic
fuck.
Schoolhouse 3D?
Oh, that is. Oh, fuck. Wait.
That's a
I
thing. I'm not aware of that thing.
Watch it
think
all
it
make that.
was.
They about make movie Sonic into a Sonic Schoolhouse program for little kids.
Then you could just call it Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Go ahead. Go back to
No,
calling
no,
everything Mickey
Yeah.
Mouse.
They'll do that
Ah,
when they introduce the Shadows and Cream, and then I finally get Vanilla.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
whoa. Oh, we gotta get you away from it.
Nah.
That's gonna put people. That's gonna get people to theaters.
Give me,
real.
get me the
Oh,
mother
okay.
rabbit right
Dog,
now.
dog, I'm just saying.
You can give me the bat anytime you want. Give me the mother rabbit right now.
That's fucking crazy.
Okay, so realistically speaking, when do you think they'll show the teaser for the next anything movie related?
Well,
If it's
considering the spring, which we've been waiting, is gonna be another April movie probably.
It'll be like-
maybe Game Awards again.
That's what I say.
Probably.
Yeah, most of
Yeah.
them, they'd be like holiday.
Probably like around Game Awards, like how they do with Sonic.
Because
2.
from what I remember, yeah, they announced it for a 2027 release, which
Yeah,
it kind of goes off beat because it's been like
2 years between every single one. Yeah.
It's been,
Yeah.
it's been like 2.5 each time, kind of.
Yeah.
Like that's about
Because
the same.
how I thought it was going to happen, I thought it was going to be summer because it went seasonal. Because let's see, February was winter, spring was it was April, and then now it's
Mhm.
winter. So I thought the next one would have been like summer, since that's the only season they haven't released a movie on.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Right.
they don't do a summer movie, which is interesting.
I mean, I'm just saying, Sonic Rush.
Like I feel like if they have to delay it though, they're getting kids to give them summer, I guess. But yeah, it's probably gonna be an April movie again. May if they want to push it.
I mean, hey, I don't mind. It's my birth month.
Yeah, and that's a decent time to release it as well. I'm not sure if there's anything else.
God.
I think we
Hard
talked about literally
question.
like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything there is, yeah. Again, I thoroughly enjoy it. Like, again, once you do break it down, it's like, okay, yeah, now there is some weird point to this movie. But like,
For sure.
at the end of the day, I am a fucking I will dick munch this fucking franchise to the end of the earth. So
Yes,
I don't give a fuck.
Like for me, I feel like this is here's the thing, right? I don't want it to because they also want to make this into a cinematic universe.
Which I don't agree with.
I don't agree with. I don't want it to be spelled out like how Ice Age was.
Yeah, I said either Sonic 3 or at the most Sonic 4 needs to be the last one, which they're not going to do. They're going to.
I mean,
do
I hope they stop at 5 because if they're going beyond it, then okay. At this point, they're just doing it for the money now. No,
Yeah.
Because if we
But-
know
Why
anything
you
about
make any
Wong,
movie? To be fair, you make any movie to make money.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're at the point, if you're making more, just for the money.
But yeah, I get what you mean.
Which, again, I hope they do, because again, you get rid of Eggman, which was like the main plot for Sonic. He plays a big role in Sonic in general, so kill him off. You can do so much without him.
Yeah, you can only do so much without him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I get, yeah. I still think if they do like another trilogy, because I think that's like a trend you're gonna see soon with like Spider-Man and Deadpool and stuff, like with especially with comic book heroes. I think we're gonna see like characters getting like 2 trilogies rather than just like one. I'd be okay if Sonic got like 2 trilogies if they went to like Sonic 6. But like yeah, I think at some point, yeah. Like I'll be okay. I'll be like, I don't need more of this.
That's like the bare maximum, man. That once we get to 6, it's like, okay, it's that. But please wrap it up, please.
Yeah, if this ain't the end, like
I
damn.
will say, never would I say that a Sonic movie would be better than a Kung Fu Panda movie in the same year.
That's fucking crazy, yeah.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, you know.
This shit was trash, bro.
Yeah, that like again, like continuing. Like if I would have told like even like 13-year-old me like that I was gonna experience 3 different fucking Sonic movies and a weird spin-off show that we won't talk about, but if I would have been able, but if I would have told him we would have that you were 20 years later having experienced 3 different fucking Sonic live action movies, I would have not believed you at all. But that's the world we live in now, and I'm absolutely here. And it's again, it is fucking crazy how far we have come from the initial fucking Sonic 1 trailer. Like,
I would say, even if you told me like a few years ago when we saw that
I was
design, like we were gonna get 3 movies.
No,
I thought we were gonna be
if
done
you would have
after
told
one.
me that in 2018, I would have called you crazy.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck no, bitch. Yeah, there's no way.
Going from a ugly design to this which ended up being really peak. I would not believe you. Like the most, I think it would have survived only one movie.
Imagine like that after like that design got revealed, you were like, oh, by the way, they're gonna make Shadow.
No. Literally,
No.
I was watching Moore's critical review, and he was saying, how would Shadow look like in that style, in the ugly movie design style?
Mm-hmm.
It's
like,
like,
could you imagine
damn.
Knuckles with like 5 fingers and those weird
Yeah.
things coming out of like
Because
real hands?
Because the thing is, they have the ugly Tails design apparently.
Yeah,
So
because
I'm
they
wondering
might have
how.
had one for this credit scene.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how that would have looked like.
They should show it one of these days.
I want the first movie in the style of ugly Sonic design. Because I actually am curious to see how it plays out.
Genuinely, I've never been more interested about what a movie was like than that one.
Yeah,
like
there,
I
there,
would love
there
to watch
There
that
is a
movie.
timeline where that movie exists, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
And
I
somehow
just
made
wanna
enough movie to
see
get
it.
here.
Like literally.
Literally.
There's a timeline where that fucking movie came out, and then it also got 2 sequels.
Honestly, this is the impact that the internet has.
Yep.
Because of
Just gotta
us.
bully companies.
Yeah, be a bully.
Maybe something's bullying is the right option.
Yeah, maybe shoved into a locker. Who knows?
I think I should shove you into a locker.
Oh.
Okay, I'm killing you, dog.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I guess that's a great segue to say. All right. Well. Well. I think that is all there is to talk about Sonic 3. Again, that the movie's good. It's really fun. Again, like I said, part can be discussed whenever. At the end of the day, I'm there as a Sonic fan, not to criticize it as a movie itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. Again, it was great having y'all here. Before we leave, would y'all like to give any final words and where they can find y'all and whatnot?
Oh, okay. Yeah, me. Yeah, what was it? You can find me on Twitch.tv/KoalaZKai, YouTube.com/KoalaZKai. And I'm on Twitter, twitter.com/KoalaZKai. That's where I exist, and you can watch streams and videos and shorts and watch me say very nice things about Kaze.
Somehow I don't believe that.
He's fucking lying. He's fucking lying. I remember that Mario Party, you little fucker. You can find me most of my socials KaZeKunai. You can find me on YouTube, KaZeKunai, Twitter, KaZeKunai, Blue Skies, Twitch, all the stuff under KaZeKunai. You can find me there. I do content, and hopefully when I'm more uploading one.
And you can find me under BattleKidMega on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, and as well as right here on Twitch and YouTube whenever I upload and whenever I stream. So
yeah. Thank you everyone for watching here on Twitch. Thank you for everybody who eventually this will be uploaded on YouTube probably tomorrow, maybe whenever. I'll probably start getting work on it soon. Thank you to everyone that watches it later on YouTube or VODs or on here on Twitch or whatever. This was fun. This is the third time I've done one of these, and they're always fun things to do. Got to interact with people I'm familiar with, like with Kaze. Although like the second time I had like discussions with him or spoken to him, Matt had talked to him a couple of times, but I don't think ever like in a call. It's first time interacting with Koala, and then also first time interacting in general with Silver. So they're always fun things to do. I enjoy having them. Again, like I was originally supposed to do Sonic and Shadow Gen 1, but that never came to fruition, but it is what it is. Yeah, these are fun. Hope y'all enjoyed today's discussion. Whatever we do, I have no idea. Yeah, this was fun. I can't wait to do whatever the next one is. Thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.